Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast, is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support the show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Salutations, everybody. It is Matty here today, and welcome to episode 241 of Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast. Today, I'm joined by Mr. Met himself, Lord Cognito. We got a new home run record holder. We actually got a win last night. How are we feeling, good sir?
Oh, we feeling good. We feeling good. It's been a long time for a W, so we got to celebrate.
We've been on the hunt for one for a while.
Exactly.
We've been finding new ways to lose. The game that broke me was
Which
against the Brewers when the pitch clock violation happened. That one, I was sitting on the couch and Laylee's in the other room. And when that happened, I went, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, she authentically thought I got hurt or something bad happened because of how like tangibly sad my reaction was. That's the one that broke me. I was like, oh, this team's in a bad place right now.
Such a Mets way to lose.
Yes, it really is.
And I'm sitting there, and then even, like I said, shout out, first of all, let's put all respect on the polar bear real quick.
Sir.
The home run king. And I have to admit, I had this conversation with Sean Mason at the last game we went to. And look, I am a David Wright guy. I'm a best fan, and I always try to look at who my favorite players are, right? Yeah. And I've watched Pete, and I'm like, damn, the only thing that used to hurt Pete was the playoff stuff. Because I was like, all right, home runs in the regular season, but then he conquered the major demon last year with the Milwaukee, the 3-1, it's on. And the Howie Rose call. So I was like, that now solidifies you, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. Now, don't get me wrong, I still love the captain, still my man. But I told Sean, I was like, he continues this trajectory. Yeah, and he's the all-time home run Met king. Mm-hmm. All we having a discussion. So Sean's like, no, it's still David Wright or whatever. And I said, I get that. I'm just saying, look, I will admit, like, Pete is slowly becoming like one of my favorite Mets.
I love him. I really do. I just worry, like, you know, David Stearns.
Oh yeah.
This dude's a dork, and like, this man will find like the nerdy stats replacement for Pete. I worry about that, man, because it's like, I think there's just something to be said about a lifelong Met. Like, you need to keep this guy a Met.
You need that. You need that. See, I got confidence in King. What's our man? King Cohen.
Yeah,
King Cohen, because he understands the significance as an owner and as a Met fan. He understands, and what he's doing right now. He literally bet on himself and was like, "What? I'm gonna take this 2-year and we gonna revamp." And now he's in the driver's seat. So. It's beautiful to see. You know, obviously I want him to remain a Met, you know, but good point about Stearns, because Stearns is such an analytics guy and such a save money. He's used to working with less and not wanting to pay big contracts. So I get it, but there are some things that are sacred, and you gotta do that. You need him to finish his career as a Met regard. He's earned that now. So. I agree. Yeah, other than that, I was just happy to beat the Braves and get a damn win.
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir. Other than that, just been in the grind, bro. I've just been in the grind. It has been, again, good grind, but it's just been nonstop. I thought it was going to slow down a little bit post-Tokyo, but obviously, you know, we saw the Platinum Games thing.
Yeah.
But it's just, man, it's nonstop. And then obviously, you know, there's other things going on. There's much going on between August and September. Yeah.
Good stuff, though. Good stuff.
Good
stuff.
No,
this is a fun stretch. Actually, we have a writing about it. It's from Iron Rook. He says, shout out to Matty for the GOAT interview with Brian Fargo. Currently my favorite interview of all time in the games industry. That's huge praise. I appreciate that. And that was even before I realized he executive produced the game that my online/pro strongman comes from, 1992's Battle Chess. Hope you do more interviews like that, because they've been awesome so far. And shout out to my man Cog for always being so dependable. Now, we'll get to that in a moment. I've been seeing the Photoshops. Sometimes when I see him, I go to ILP and I do my investigative work, but I think this is one that needs to be on the air live. Like, I need to get those backstory. I'll get to that because I know I'll derail completely and take us off a good trajectory.
Yes.
I just want to say I appreciate everyone's support on the interview.
Yes,
man.
bro.
It's been cool to see. You know, no one's really asked why, but I'll give the why to what I'm kind of thinking behind it. Basically, I've expressed it to COG behind the scenes. Like, there's a level of wanting to do more. I like talking about the news, but there was something that I realized with the Todd Howard interview, which is like, the game's kind of changed. Like, you can make the news and be part of that cycle rather than being the guy talking about it. You can be there while it's being made effectively. There was that avenue I wanted to pursue. I wanted to try my luck at seeing how many legends I would have the privilege of speaking to. And so far, I mean, I don't want, again, I'll get into one other element of it. I don't want to over tease, but I've got a list of people that I'm like, this is fucking awesome. So I'm really excited about it. I also thought, I see certain conversations online. I feel motivated to, I'm not a know-it-all, but I feel motivated to educate because I too am still learning. And if you watch these interviews, I'm asking these dudes questions like on the behalf of my own inexperience. I'm just like, how do you think about this? Like when I talked to Fargo, I asked him about writing tips. He says, yeah, like I learned something that was brand new. And I asked him because I'm a writer. I'm like, what did you learn? So I'm trying to lean into not knowing too much because I imagine people have those same questions and hopefully being a place where they can be answered and this sort of hub for like really good interviews where you're going to get like your news bites. Like when I interviewed Darrah, as we'll talk about later, and he talked about the Champions trilogy for Dragon Age, I was like, oh yeah, like I know that's the money shot right there. That's going to be the one everyone grabs. But within that was such a deep, interesting conversation on what happened with Veilguard. Like just really getting into the thick of like, why was the tone this way, dude? Like what happened? Like he said it should have been canceled. Like there was so many. Yeah. And like, that's huge for a guy to say, like when I left, it should have been done with, but they kept going. But it really gets a lot of good insight into EA, into the trend chasing Dragon Age has been subject to, how the lack of series identity was more due to those trend chasing. And it's just like, I've had the honor to do these already a couple of incredible conversations and I've got more in the pipe. The lesson I've learned that I'm applying here is when I usually get these big plans, I like to announce them and make them a big part of like the channel's fabric and DNA. And I'm like, yeah, this is the plan. Like people have seen it when we did like Retro Rewind. I'm like, here's the plan. I've embraced the sort of, I'm just going to go do it and not overhaul everything, but rather just weave it in naturally. Yeah. So like I usually post 4 times a week. When we get these interviews, it's like a bonus 5th video. And I'm just kind of making it a part of the content lane. But I've been really enjoying it. We'll talk more in depth about the Darrah interview because it did make a lot of the headlines.
I missed that one too. You got to re-up with Darrah. Damn.
I like his energy a lot because when I messaged him, I said, hey, dude, I'd love to chat with you. He said, we can and should talk. And I was like, hey, awesome. Fargo, absolutely. I mean, look, the rumors are true about Fargo. This dude was buying my DMs. He's an absolute goat, like he just, yeah, bro, he's awesome.
That's dope,
awesome
bro.
Guy.
I gotta slow you down. I'm gonna let you just glance over this. Tell me how cool it is to have normal conversations with industry legends that you respect, but then not only that, respect what you do and are willing to have that conversation with you. Tell me how that feeling is, though, bro.
I'm a little surprised because when I reached out to Fargo, I said, like, I always open with, I think you and I have a similar approach to people. Like, I just give them a lot of love and say, like, hey, if you want, would love to chat with you. And so when I reached out to Fargo and he said something along the lines of, like, I really respect and love what you do. He said it would be an honor to chat with you. And, I just, when I heard that, I was like, I was very taken back because I was like, okay, it's not even a validation thing. It's just like, wow. And after the interview was done, something that I'm pretty proud of that I think has been only enabled from my development experience was just, he said, this is one of the most interesting interviews I did because you elevated what we could talk about because so that was really cool. That was really cool. And so we've stayed in touch since. It's not been like a, like one and done.
Those are the best.
Yeah. Like I love that he's come back around. We've talked about interviews. He wants to do other stuff. Like he has ideas. This man is a machine. There's a reason why he is one of the greatest, but Darrah was excellent. Fargo's excellent. And again, I don't want to over tease, but I mean, I kind of lightly teased what I'm talking about last week that I'm working toward, but I'm really excited to talk to some of these individuals, and you never know, because like with like YouTube, it's just like some people can just look at your titles, thumbnails, and just infer like a million things about you. So you never really know. So when these people are like, oh yeah, I'd love to talk to you, I'm like, really? Okay. Awesome. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm treating it like seasonal.
Yeah.
You know, I know I can't keep it up forever, but I'm trying to kind of like find a good time to start it up, then refresh and go again. So yeah, I that's kind of the mindset behind it, but it's been really exciting. It's been really fun. And I appreciate everyone supporting. But Cog, more importantly,
let's get it.
We got a write in here from Adam Bulgarby. Dependable Dukes. Don't you dare think for a second that the realm ain't going to hear about Cog's life hack. I'll leave it there. Have a flushing a toilet is too damn loud for a ninja. A tactical reload is preferred. I am so interested in this, bro. I'm seeing you on diaper brands. I'm seeing you get AI video overhauls. Yo, in the gym doing a selfie, and then like the diaper shows up. I need to know what the hell is going on here, bro. What's going on with these diapers?
Oh man, yeah, the dependable cog thing is a thing. It's a thing now.
I need to know.
I say it is. I thought I was being real about a situation, right? So I mean, you know how to have that real man talk with your homies, with your brother. Yeah. So I bought ILP. So obviously, I went to Tokyo and Platinum and stuff like that. Yeah. But during the course of it, it was an actual disaster for me to get there, and I almost didn't get there, which kind of behind the scenes. So basically, it all started with this unfortunate act of God layover in Detroit, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm at DTW Airport. I'm sitting there. We're on the runway. It's like, yo, the rain is coming down so bad. I've never seen this, Matty, where it was hitting the plane so hard it felt like hail.
Oh, that's scary.
That's scary. Yeah. And we're on the runway, like taxiing, like we're supposed to be like number 2 or 3 to go off.
Oh, so you weren't even in like the terminal. You were like up
in the plane on the joint. So I'm sitting there like, yeah, this don't feel good. So I was happy when the pilot was like, look, we're going to sit here until it subsides. We'll tune back in about half hour.
That's still not, bro. Because imagine you get up and you're just like 10 minutes up there, 5 minutes up there.
It's a wrap, right? That's when you got to think, the good one upstairs. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, cool. So then he goes, look, this is not subsiding. We're going to try to go back to the gate. All right, cool. Then the pilot goes, we can't get back to the gate because apparently, those little mini trucks that like go across and they carry other planes' luggage back and forth. Bro, the weather was so bad that one of those toppled over and blocked the runway to get back to the gate. Oh, so I'm like, oh, this is spooky. So once that's cleared, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get back to the gate. So we get back to the gate. All right, cool. And mind you, I've been flying for like over 20 years. Bro, I've never really had to deplane before. Mm-hmm. So, because I don't really do connected flights much now that I think about it. So they like deplane. All right, get your stuff. Everybody get off. So we sit there, delay 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Then canceled. Flight canceled. I'm stuck in DTW Airport, Detroit. I'm like, okay, everyone's stranded. It's a mess. We go to, I speak to the people. I speak to the expert. I'm like, hey, I don't know what's going on. Let Platinum know, whatever. So it's looking spooky. So anyway, long story short now, this is where we at. So I'm stuck in the airport. They're going to get me a hotel, but it's going to take a long time. So first thing you do is like, stuck, go get your toilet. Remember, by the way, they told me no luggage. I was like, yeah, what's up with my luggage? No, we keep that. That's staying on the plane. See you tomorrow. Word. So I ain't got no luggage. All right, cool. So I'm like, okay. All right, we could do this. Airport. Get your toiletries, right? I still got my little, backpack and my CPAP so a boy can sleep. You know what I'm saying? Because CPAP gang, we don't got our CPAP, we in trouble. So I'm like, all right, we can make this happen. Get to the hotel, I should be all right. Bro, we were there for like 4 hours. We didn't get to the hotel till like 10:30, 11 p.m. I'm starving, I'm hungry. Now, mind you, I've been traveling and stuck for already like 13 plus hours. Right? So I get to the hotel. So I'm like, all right, cool. So now I'm sitting there. Flights tomorrow. Okay. We in the same draw situation that we've been in for 13 plus hours. It was a full day.
Yeah.
Mind you, I got to get back on a plane the next day for a 13-hour flight to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I have no washing material. There's no laundry. There's no nothing. I have no clothes but the same sweaty, over-the-top clothes I've been in this whole day. So I'm sitting there like, oh, you got to make it happen. What we going to do? What we going to do? All right. Look for the Walmarts that's open. Nothing's open. Amazon, let me see who got the Fruit of the Looms, bro. I just need, you know what I'm saying? Just need a little shop to get me through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, cool. Nothing. 11 o'clock, so now you got to get creative. All right, we're going to bust out the DoorDash and we're going to bust out the Uber Eats apps. We're going to see, we're going to attack the pharmacies.
Drop it off. Yeah.
Right.
Smart.
Boom. 24-hour pharmacy. Yes, let's go, Detroit. Okay, cool. So I'm looking. So one, I'm ordering the food, and one, trying to order. See, I'm typing in underwear. Double dash. Got Uber Eats on one side, DoorDash on the other. Put the hotel address. So I'm sitting there, man. I'm putting underwear. I'm looking, and I'm like, what's this super absorbent? What's this? Why is this coming up? So I'm like, what is this? So I'm like, I'm looking. So I ain't going front, man. I'm like, you got that hard decision you gotta make. And I'm like, am I really about to do this?
Oh no.
And I was like, God, are you gonna go on that plane with 24-hour drawers and then 13 hours on top of the 24?
Yeah, dude.
On a plane sitting next to me letting
out by airport security for carrying like a chemical weapon or something.
I'm gonna let the funk flow for 2 days worth.
And you usually wear baggy clothes, so there's no suppression.
Bro, I'm outside. Yeah. And you on a plane stuck. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, well, I ain't really got nothing to wash. If I want to go old school, you're like, wash your old joint. I ain't got nothing. So I'm like, damn. So I'm sitting there, that's when you try to make sense of the situation. So I'm sitting there, Matty, I'm like, you know, I'm trying to look at the dude on the cover of the box. I'm like,
that's a grown man.
He not a 70-something plus old dude. He a strong looking brother. He just had a little situation where he needed that one day. So I think I could justify it.
Oh no.
Bro, I was sitting there having a conversation with myself. I'm looking at the pictures. I'm like, oh man, it's not looking good, but I might have to do this. So here's the funny part. The funny part is ordering them. So can't
be caught picking this up either. That's what would have stopped me. It's like, bro, going to the hotel entrance, grabbing a thing of diapers and be like, and they're adult size, so they know, you know.
It was so bad because I didn't realize you can't order a 1-pack or a 3-pack of these. Bro, it come in a 48-pack box. To make it worse, why the DoorDash dude finds my hotel, has my food directly to the door. The Uber Eats dude with the Depend, and I tried to be slick, Matty. I try to order the Depends, and I try to order like all the stuff around it, like to make. So he don't judge me. So he be like, oh, he might have a grab. I order
little candy,
little candies, little mints, little things for the room. You know what I'm saying? I ordered all this stuff, right? The utensils. So your man hit me, and I'm like, all right, he gonna come to the room. He's like, yeah, I'm here. So I was like, what's up? All right, you're apartment 12, whatever. He's like, nah, I don't know where that's at. Just come to the lobby. You gonna make me come to you to go get the Depends so you can hand me the Depends, bro? You wanted to see me. You wanted to embarrass me.
Yeah.
That's what that was, bro. Yeah. So now I got to go there, and you gonna do the relay handoff and give me a big box of Depends. And then to make it worse, Matty, I feel sorry for the hotel people who had to deal with me.
Oh, no.
Because imagine you go to clean this room as housekeeping. And not only do you see all these toiletries and stuff, you see a 46-pack now of the because I took 2 out the joint. Look, man, your boy had to hustle. He had to do what he had to do. They was kind of comfortable. I ain't gonna hold you. Look. I got if this is a precursor to 70-year-old, 80-year-old car, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause right now I'm close to being a 49er, you know what I'm saying? But like if this is a precursor,
literally, you know,
bro. I had to do it, man. So lesson learned. keep a fresh pair of underwear in your carry on, so you don't have to do the depends situation.
Yeah, you will never go without extra underwear in the backpack ever again.
Bro, I ain't had my Manscapes. I was tight, man. I was tight, bro.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I had to do it. So that I told the story on Alfie. I thought I was being real. They went in on me.
I can see that. It's a survival thing, bro.
Survival, bro.
That's just so funny.
Bro, it was so funny though. I ain't gonna hold you, the way they was clowning. Mm-hmm. And like the memes, it just took on a life. See, this is where my honesty gets me in trouble. But I can't help myself. I just don't like lying to people. I'm like, yo, this is what I did. If you end up buying,
the same way.
This is the gangster joint to do. You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe I had to tell him. So I said, bro, I would have kept that to my grave. I would have told nobody.
I don't think it's that like level of
killing me.
I think that the moment you take to your grave is you had to have had the mirror moment, right? Like where you put it on, you look in the mirror, you're like, so this is what it's come to. Like there's got to be that moment I would take to the grave. I'd be like, no one can see this. They can know, but they can't see this.
They can't see. Because here's the other thing, like, I don't
like wrinkling around when you were adjusting the seat.
Look, don't laugh. Like the crotch situation is not. It's a little crazy. I had the camo joint, son. I had the camo. You know what I'm saying?
It kind of looks like underwear. At least I'm looking at a grainy camera right now. I don't know.
They try to be cool, but it's a little much.
I was picturing you in like a white diaper.
Oh, nah. I ain't do the one. I had to have the color joint.
And strap with a different color. It's like they kind of consider the style, you know?
Bro, I gotta send you the picture of the box because that's what takes it over the lip. Like the fact that they I was looking at the underwear models to justify my participation, and it was this one brother. He was kind of cool looking, and he looked like you ever see the show Power? You ever see for 50 Cents Power? He looked like the dude goes for Power. So I said, see if he did it. It's cool. You icon.
What you can't see anyway, right?
So that's the Dependable COG story, and yeah, it's living in infamy right now. They not letting off me, son. They not letting off me, but it's funny. I own it.
That's fucking unbelievable. That's really unbelievable. Well, I appreciate your honesty. I got one for you then.
What you got?
So we got it right in here. This is from High Ruled 3G. It says, "What's up, Lord Cognito and Mr. Matty Cleans? I felt very compelled to write in this week due to Matty's newfound fame. Cog, are you aware that you're in the presence of the TikTok chocolate cleaning guy? Matty, you're going to start making chocolate-induced cleaning TikToks now. All jokes aside, keep up the good work and have these chocolates got me locked in kind of day." So has this made its way to you at all?
What is this? What's going on?
All right. So in my unbelievable event of the week, Laylee and I on Sunday clean the whole house. Like we were just like we're like deep cleaning, like dusting everything, everything's covered in Lysol, organizing everything, and the house looks beautiful. I'm very happy.
Nice.
Now, this same day, we tried what's called Alice chocolate. This is a brand that it's all natural, by the way, because a lot of people like jump into the end here. A lot of people thought I was on a drug. It is not a drug. It is a piece of chocolate with like caffeine in it. And like natural like cordyceps, that sort of stuff, fungi.
Right.
It's like a mushroom chocolate. A friend of mine who has ADHD really like had trouble focusing, working on their content, and they said, I tried it, it's changed things for me. I have pretty good focus, but I have days where I'm bad, and it's just tough to like really dial in like I need to. Some days it's because my brain feels really stretched thin. So it's a weekend. I'm like, let's give it a shot. Let's go.
All right.
And it's just, like it's not something you feel per se, like you just have better focus. And I don't do caffeine, but I was like, I'll give it a shot. Like, why not? Okay. Right. So we go through the whole house and we're cleaning everything, and we're like in overdrive mode. Like we have in our kitchen, you could see it in the TikTok, we have a wall that's not connected to the actual ceiling. Like it's a floating wall. And up there, you can see it when you're descending the stairs from our hallway into the living room kitchen area. You can see the dust on it if you're like my height.
Right.
Bugged me, but like we kind of put it to the side for a while. Now this is that like, I'm gonna be real. This is
all right,
like
let's go.
Thick dust, right?
All right, you're starting to get the little ball, a little, yeah.
No, it's more like if you see dust, you can't take a duster to this and just and it's all good, right? Or a paper towel, and it's all good. I had to get up there with a wet rag and like scrub a little, yeah. And it's because it's tough to get up there. So we have within our standalone wall, a windowsill that I parkour up to. So I'm up there scrubbing the dust off with this wet cloth, right? While I'm up there, Laylee's like, this is unbelievable. She's, not because I'm doing it, but just like, this looks so funny. She's like, let me take a video of you. So she takes a video of me and I'm just up there just cleaning. It's literally just a video of me cleaning.
Okay.
It says like, you and your husband try a piece of chocolate to help you focus, and you end up deep cleaning for 7 hours and doing like 40 pounds of laundry or something like that. So she posts it, right? When she posts it, in like a half hour, gets like 1,000 views or something like that. She's like, she's like, this has never happened before. I'm like, I mean, I'm not saying this like with ego, but I've been doing this for a while. So I'm like, I'm like, that's not bad. Like, that's good. Like, cool. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Bro, why is this thing at 7 million views?
Yo, you went viral?
Yes.
Send me the link.
Yeah, I got you. Look at
Send me the link.
It's unfucking believable. You might have even scrolled past me on your For You page here.
Hey, yes.
Someone put it on the Last Stand Media Reddit.
Okay. I did not know about this.
In the chat. Yeah. And so it started off as people being like, tell your man to go on your Pinterest. Like, it started off with like the TikTok short form comments, right? Then my audience finds it. And so it's this clashing of world. Like, my audience is not like the full TikTok audience. Like, I make longer form content and stuff, but everyone's like, yo, why is Matty here? Like, what the hell is this? It's not even like my account, it's my wife's account, right?
I love the parkouring though. Yeah, this is what I'm about.
I'm up there and it's in like this speed. It's like she fast forwarded. It's like a Deftones song on it.
The music is popping.
Yeah. But dude, this thing goes so viral. It's unbelievable. It's almost at 1 million likes.
Yes. This is insane.
It's more than, sadly, anything I've ever done in my entire life.
This is his claim to fame. This is going to be on the tombstone.
I'm no longer the Fallout guy. I'm the mushroom chocolate cleaning guy. Wow. And these people from TikTok, I mean, it's not affected my audience at all, but like some people from TikTok have come to my channel. And so like all the top comments on my Fallout video I just posted were like, yo, it's the chocolate guy. It's the house cleaning guy. I was just like, oh no, man.
This is amazing.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. So I don't know why it went viral. I really don't. I we've discussed it every day since it's gone out. And each time we think it's going to like peter off, like it hit like 1 million. We're like, wow, that was crazy. It hits 2. We're like, that's crazy. Last night it was at like 3. And we're like, okay, like it's probably done now, bro. Why is this shit double in size? Like,
it's time now.
I don't get it, but I mean,
you gotta feed the streets now. Now you gotta feed the streets.
Yeah,
this is what they want.
Yeah, I mean, my wife's more into TikTok than me, so I'm not doing anything about it. But
nah, son, this is it. Yeah. Laylee's up right now. Now, what you doing next?
This is her opportunity. I said, I love my wife so much, though. She is a very hopeful, optimistic, dreaming spirit. And it makes me dream big. She says it's because I dream big that she dreams big. I don't know. It's like it was like a whole back and forth love fest. But she was like, I was like watching the dish and I was thinking like this could be like a big change and like I could try something different here. And I was like, yeah, why not go for it? Like the door kind of cracked open and it's a crazy, almost stupid reason it's cracked open, but it's open nonetheless. Like she got over 1,000 followers from it,
bro.
Just like start posting there, see what happens.
Let's go.
Yeah. So. I'm really happy for her. I hope it turns into something. If anyone wants to follow her, it's Ukulele. Go ahead.
Yes, I gotta follow. Gotta go down. So
you probably find me there occasionally, I guess. But like there's already ones of her like showing me. Like my favorite one that she posted was it was me. It's like sometimes my wife just gets very nostalgic, and when like your man is like telling you about like something from their past that you have no relation to at all, but like you can see how passionate they are. So like they're going into their own world, and you're just here for the ride.
Yes.
That's my wife. Like I have never watched like High School Musical or like these music videos that she watched, or the Hillary Duff music videos. But she's got a TikTok of me like sitting on the couch like this, and she's just showing like the music video, and she turns to me and you just see me leaning like this. Like I'm not even doing it for the camera. Like she just knows I'm like
you're not disinterested, like you mad disinterested.
I'm just being supportive, like I'm just here to love on what she's loving. But she's like filming me for the reaction. It's hilarious. Like that's definitely my favorite one.
That's dope. That's dope.
She just posts like random. She just kind of calls it her shit posting account. It's random.
I love it.
It's funny. But yeah, dude, it went viral, and it's unbelievable. I've had like people text me and be like, "Why are you on my For You page?" Like
the Batman.
Windows commented on it, bro.
Stop.
Yeah, Windows. You know, they commented on it. They were like, working hard. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You guys already got us. Stop.
Bro, the Batman joint, son. Oh, I see the Batman. This is lit.
Yeah. So
I love it.
Yeah, we got some unbelievable stories this week, but
chocolate, clean meat, it depends. Is up.
We got a lot of sponsor opportunities out here, but I mean, dude,
bro,
Alice, shout out to them. They did reach out to my wife. They're going to send us some free care package of some kind. I mean, let's be real, bro. 7 million view TikTok. They were in the comments replying to everything. Everybody.
They like, who is this guy? Side him. Like,
I would love to see the sales that day, like this week. I would love to know how much money they made off of it, because Laylee thinks that the reason it popped off was because I guess, I mean, I don't have TikTok, so I don't know, but like apparently TikTok's like a very advertisement focused platform.
Yes.
Big time. Like there's TikTok shop and people are always buying stuff. Because ours was like unintentionally a advertisement for something, and there was no link like try this thing out. I think the engagement of people going, what's the chocolate?
What is that? Yes.
Yeah, just shot it up. And Alice just jumps in and they're like, hey, yo, like, it's us. And so they reached out to my wife and they're going to send us something. I don't know what, but yeah, I'm so curious because a lot of people are like, yo, hit them up for a sponsor. I'm like, bro, what are they going to get off of it now? Like there's no reason to. It's not everything's a money making opportunity. It's fun. It's a crazy happenstance thing. And
I'm just saying, bro. It might be that new lane for you.
I always knew I could thrive in short form content because it's really easy, but it's also like not what I want to do, you know?
No, I feel you.
Like just not my audience, not my speed. Like I read, when I do Instagram reels, for example, and I read them, I'm just like, God, dude, like, please don't come over to YouTube. Like YouTube's got its own problems, but like, at least like those comments, people watch and engage and think, and they sometimes don't think enough, but they think.
No, I feel you on that.
And bad faith, like, assumptions that are on these short form contents, like, I don't know, bro, it's just not good. So I if my wife wants to do it, I'm like, go for it. Like, just she knows how I feel about it though. So
I will say that it's I know we are the minority on that because we don't live in that world that much, but that's all the rage, man. That's all these kids do. The attention spans are shorter, and people just want to just doom scroll, and they go through this stuff. This is affecting gaming. Like, people are sitting there, and then what it is especially, I will say this, if it's a good one, and it's timed where it's like it ends perfectly, where it loops back to start again, you're in the cycle, bro.
Yeah,
you're in it.
Yeah, like I had my editor Josh. Like, we flirted with the idea. Like, I'm sure I'll do it one day, but it's something I don't know how to word it. It sounds very privileged, but I just don't want to handle it. Like it's like I don't want to deeply engage with it. I don't mind benefiting from it, but I don't want to deeply engage with it.
Engage in it.
You know, like I said to our editor Josh, like, we have a bunch of stuff from Retro Rebound that we've like turned into shorts, and it's just sitting there. Like, we have a big stash. It's sitting there though, and like one day we'll just deploy it and build a brand off of it. But for now, we're just kind of like building that stash up, and then we'll have like limitless content forever, and that'll be fun and all. But you know, like I feel like it's almost too easy.
I know what you mean. What it is you got to feel it. Like, if you're not feeling it from a content standpoint, it ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just
there's a level of I'm again, the reason why I'm giving myself that room to bend is because I have, especially this year, tried to learn how to work smarter, not harder. And there are some things like I've recognized even in like how I do my news content. I'm like, there are better ways to film this that would trim the production time down to like literally like half an hour. And like that would be huge for me, especially for things I need to get out urgently. So yeah, like this is one of those things where you're behind on the times, old man. Like, I got to get it soon, but like I got to get it with it my way. Otherwise, it's not going to.
Otherwise, it ain't gonna work. Your heart's got to be in it.
Yeah.
Well, for me, depends if you're looking for a bag. I done promoted y'all. This was the dude who sent me over the top, yo. I was like,
weird and everything. Saying,
I was like, if your man did it,
no grays. Like,
I was like, he just had a situation there. That's what he cool. If he could do it, I could do it for this day. Because I know I done shot Depend stock up for this whole 2-3 days. It is what it is.
We got a couple more write-ins. We'll hang with this for a little bit longer here. Not John Cena, just wanted to give him some love here. He says, my brethren, Titty Gobbler, Matt, and Asthmatic Cog. This one's for Matt. Just want to let you know I've been enlightened by SpongeBob Titans of the Tide and its trailer. My inner childhood has awoken. All I'm going to say is I'm locking the fuck in. Have a remaster Tact 2, The Staff of Dreams from THQ kind of day. So I just wanted to acknowledge this one more time. If anyone wants to see one of the greatest trailers of the year, SpongeBob Titans of the Tide. If you have any history or love of SpongeBob SquarePants movie, check it out. This shit is awesome, dude.
Legendary.
This one's for you, though, Cog. Jazzy B. Hey, Matty and Cog. Long time, first time. Love listening to the Dukes. Thank you. I just got back from Japan and loved it. Can't wait to return. I'm curious about Cog's recent short trip there. Any cool sites, food, or shopping he checked out, like the new Sega store in Shibuya? Also, any big plans for Japan with the Lords outside of TGS? Yeah, I don't think we got a chance. We talked immediately about Platinum and your experience. I don't think I got to hear about like what you did. You have time to do anything?
Sadly, no, because of 2 days delayed, bro. Like the way you do Japan is you got to give yourself a 2-day window because you got that transition day for the time zone, especially coming from the Eastern Standard Time zone to over there, and then just getting your body clock adjusted. But because of the delays and all the situation, bro, I was supposed to be there Japan 2 days earlier than when I got there. So what ends up happening is, let's say the Platinum Studio visit was like on a Thursday at 9 a.m. I got there, Japan time. I got there Wednesday night at like 11:30, 11 p.m. Like, and then basically I'm time zone hung messed up, and then boom, wake up, go to the studio the next day, and then boom, fly back out. So I really didn't get a chance. I was in Akihabara for a bit.
Did you get nighttime ramen? Did you get a chance to do like?
Bro, I got some miso soup.
Okay, all right.
which was amazing. I had that for the first time. Obviously, there was I went to a spot I never heard. It was a teriyaki chicken burger.
Oh,
bro, it was amazing.
That sounds amazing. Yeah,
amazing. Yeah. But again, with the Lords, we'll be back. TGS, we're doing TGS, but we're also making a vacation out of it, like 10 days in addition to that. So I do have stuff lined up. Now, the new Sega store Shibuya, I'm definitely going to do. I was sad because with this trip, because my plan before, to do this one trip before I go to TGS was to see the old Sega store before it closes in August. So I had a chance. And I mean, I was there, but I had no time. I was like, damn it, this sucks. But yeah, we got a ton of stuff. Then our attic, he's got like the Square Cafe and Pokemon stuff. And then I got, there's others. We've got like a launch. I want to do some temples, some shrines. I want to do some Torii gates, do the train system. Shout out to my man Teddy. He's going to be out there for me by GN. So that's, I keep forgetting Teddy now. I keep talking like we ain't the homies and you already met the homie Teddy already. Yeah, that was because, again, for those who don't know, Teddy is really responsible behind the scenes for a lot of anything great at IGN. That you see video production wise, he did it, and then he actually one of our videos. He
saved us on the in-person Duke. Big time.
In-person Duke. He saved us on that. That was awesome. But so it's gonna be cool to check him out and a couple other people. But yeah, we've got a launch list. So Jazzy B, we will revisit this. Yeah, because I've got a ton of stuff up ahead. And there's some homies that's coming. I ain't gonna blow them up. They know they are. There's also gonna be out there that are LSM fam.
Oh.
And we gonna link up there. There's like a gym that we heard. There's some like really dope Japanese gym called Lift Gym or something. We got stuff planned. Like each day, it's gonna be we gonna be lit.
Good stuff. Yeah, we're looking because Gamescom didn't work out. So Laylee and I are looking at second half of December. That's what we're trying to go for. Like during the holiday break, kind of New Year's in Japan.
Nice.
Yeah, going for it there. And
that's what's up. I'll give you a little precursor too, man. It's cool. Yeah. I will say, whatever you do, make sure you get your passport card and that QR code situation for customs done. They do not play no games about this. You have to fill this thing out, and if you don't have that QR code, it's up. Like you better have that QR code.
Am I missing something on that?
So basically,
passport. But what's it?
You got your passport, right? And what it is all flights coming into Japan, they will have you. I forgot the name of the website. It's a Japanese-based website. It's basically just say, hey, where you going? What are you doing? And locations of where you stay, the location of where you will stay. And it just And basically when you fill it out, it's not super difficult. It's just thorough. And then once you finish it, it'll give you a QR code. Now, once you get off the plane and you got to go to customs, they're going to be like, where's that QR code, B? And if not, then you're going to go over to this wild line and you got to fill out stuff. You don't want to deal with that. You going to have that QR code ready. It's going to give you the thing and they're going to associate you to the correct place you need to go. Gotcha. And it's good. Yeah. Gotcha. So it's a little weird, but once you get used to it, you'll be fine.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's like what we're doing is, again, it kind of worked out. Forrest was sick. He had to get like a little mini surgery done. He's doing good now this week. Yeah. So Gamescom probably wouldn't have worked out anyway because we have to like make sure he's all good. Mm-hmm. He had to get some teeth removed. He had a dental.
Ooh.
Yeah, it happens a lot in small dogs. But yeah, we had to. It was a lot of money, so we had to. Gamescom not working out was honestly a blessing in disguise. Okay. But now we're looking to like commit to everything by like September and just like lock it in, dude. Like it's like there's been too many times we push this off. So I'm hoping that pans out. We have one health is wealth right in though, Cog.
What we got?
All right. This health is wealth goes to grower and shower. Now, I find this hilarious because, with all due respect to grower and shower, he's writing about imposter syndrome, but that's not imposter syndrome energy at the name, bro.
Yeah.
That's some confidence there you got.
That's big meat on the table energy.
Yeah. Hey, lads, I want to ask you about your experiences with imposter syndrome. I just started a new technical role that is paying me far more than I have been getting paid previously. And while I'm very grateful for that, I've also been struggling quite a bit with this feeling that I don't deserve it and that sooner or later, they are going to realize they shouldn't have let my dumbass into the party. I tend to be very hard on myself and a bit of a perfectionist, which is why I'm sure this is playing into it. But I'm also just having a hard time not feeling a pit of anxiety in my stomach every morning when I begin working. I've only been there for 2 weeks, so early days, and hopefully it'll improve as I settle in. But in the interim, I was hoping to hear about your experiences with this, if you have any. Just helps to get a reminder sometimes that you aren't alone dealing with those things. Thanks for all you do and I've been wiping for an hour. Did someone sneak a marker up there or something on a day?
It depends. You'd have been all right. No, I'm just joking.
I'm going to tease grower and shower one more time, bro, because I'm picturing him sitting there. You know that gif with the dude who's like wiping his tears with money? That's him right now. Actually, bro, I mean, this is common, right? Like, I think the best thing is understanding with imposter syndrome. It doesn't go away. You just got to accept it. Like, because you don't want to become too overconfident that you're ignorant. So I feel like you got to accept it's there. And that usually indicates positive things. You care. It might also indicate that, like, hey, there's room for me to grow here. And that's not a bad thing, right? Like there's, sometimes hires happen where there's a little bit of like that gap to like, oh, this person's going to become very efficient and that's a good business move for us. And so like you might be like they could be winning out in the end, right? Now you're both winning. So I think when it comes to imposter syndrome though, the best thing is always knowing, like, I'm trying to think when I feel it, it's with YouTube or with video game writing. Mm-hmm. And I think it's always that I always go back to the same thought of like, there's always someone doing better than you. There's always someone doing worse than you. And you always find yourself somewhere in the middle. Mm-hmm. And your perspective, no matter where you're at, like you'll solve problem A, but problem B will still be there. And that'll become the main problem. So I know it's a lot of things that maybe you don't want to hear, but I think they'll help. Like it's just something that you wrestle with. And as you stick with it, it'll fade and you'll kind of earn your keep and feel more comfortable with COG. Your thoughts, right? Stepping into a role, getting the big bucks. You're like, man, am I really worthy of this? What are your thoughts on that?
No, I actually relate to grow and shower very much. This is a real thing. I suffer from it sometimes too. It depends on the role because I will say on one side, like when I was at Meta, like they had a great onboarding and they were very key to be like, look, you're going to be in this little program for a while we get you up to speed. Don't worry. And I'm trying to hit the ground running. And obviously, I was doing well. Your boy was, was a little extra cheese on the waffle. The check was nice. You know what I'm saying? So you sitting there and you like, man, I want to prove to everyone, like, not only did I earn this thing through the interviews and stuff like that, I want to be able to contribute. And I think my biggest struggle is not knowing in the beginning. I hate not knowing. Like, I want to be able to do the job at its highest level. And there is a learning curve. There is, with the way a company does things or what have you. And there is pressure on yourself because I think what happens is you see everyone else, doing things and on an advanced level. And you're like, man, like that's where I need to be. So I think the key thing is one, recognize, look, you just got there, bro. You just got there. Calm down, right? You don't know. That's cool. The process is learning. They know you don't know everything. Most good jobs, and they will onboard you and help you. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Humble yourself. And I think the thing for me, what I learned is the biggest advice I could give someone in the corporate setting is that sometimes there's a lot of anxiety. At least I did suffer from this when you have like the big group call, and when someone's like teaching a lecture to a group of people. Even colleges do this, right? It's a bunch of students, and the professor will be like, does anyone have any questions?
Yeah.
And it's like 50, 100 people in there, and everyone's kind of quiet. And we know damn well somebody got a question, but your anxiety to be the guy that I don't know, right?
Sure.
You don't want to raise the hand. So what ends up happening with someone that has that courage, raise the hand, everybody goes, oh yeah, I was thinking the same thing. See, everyone's doing it. So my advice to you is if you still have anxiety at these kind of moments, number one tip I could give is pull that person or message that person on the individual on the side if you don't feel comfortable in that big thing, because you don't want nobody to know that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Shoot an email. Hey, I just want to get a little clarification on this. Just wasn't sure. Ask questions. It's cool. Then the second situation I can say, which is not the ideal, which is when you're at a job where it's kind of hitting the ground running corporate, right? Hitting the ground running. Everyone's demanding everything, and no one ain't really get you up to speed on anything, and it's kind of unfair to you. I've been at that side too, and I was like, doing with like financial crime prevention software, dealing with a company it was very government like.
Sure.
And I was just like, am I bugging? Like, no one taught me any of this. They're expecting a lot that wasn't really described. So I had to eventually, my mistake I made is I waited too long to let people know. And I remember letting somebody, and they were like, oh my God, they were supposed to do this, and this with you. They didn't do that with you? Wow. So again, basically the moral of the story, speaking up.
Yeah.
On some level, whether you do it in a group setting, if you don't feel comfortable, do it on a one-on-one setting, because the worst feeling in the world is not feeling that you belong and damn, I'm making all this money. And I get that. But yeah, as long as you be honest with yourself and do that communication part, you should be fine. But remember, you're new too. So
yeah,
don't
love yourself
go too
enough
crazy.
to welcome the blessings in your life.
Yes.
Some people I know have struggled with that, where it's like, you're entitled to great things, dude. Like that's, if you've worked hard and you got to this point, it's good that you have room to learn more. But it's good that you're being compensated well for what you do, and that's okay. And you should, be proud of yourself. Be happy about that, right?
And remember, you went through the gauntlet to earn that opportunity. They saw something in you, and you proved yourself. So you got to give yourself that much on nailing the interview and getting the job.
Yeah, there's. I mean, as someone who's hired a bunch of people, there's like two ways that I've noticed people respond to a raise. There's like I'm locking in, like, thank you. Like there's the thankful, the gratitude, and they increase their efforts. And there's the people who are like, I'm not changing, like, thanks for the money. And like, it's just like kind of business as usual. So, you might fall into a completely separate category. I've personally never experienced of sort of like where you're getting paid far more. And it's like this, like, oh God, I hope I can live up to it. Right. Like for some people, it's just a number on a piece of paper. But it's good that you're conscious of these things. View it. Yes. I like to take these sorts of emotions that you experience that are kind of inevitable and like an anxiety and try to, without being foolish with yourself, turn into a positive, right? Like, to me, imposter syndrome is a sign that you want to grow, that you care. So
yes,
try to embrace it as such. And, you're not alone on it. We all experience it. I get it fucking weekly.
Oh yeah, bro. I go through it.
Yeah. All right. Next up here, we got a couple write-ins. Let's talk games. This first one goes to John EA. Hello, Mr. and Mr. Duke. Have you guys seen the weird controversy where Mafia, the old country, is getting beat up due to swimming and a guy hitting the wood with an axe? Personally, this is one of those stupid gaming controversies, and it really makes me confused by the wider gaming ecosystem. Do they want smaller titles that don't do everything? Do people want budgets to go down and more games frequently released? Anyway, sorry for the rant, Dukes. Do you have any thoughts? Have a great week, gentlemen. I'm going to make an offer that will be refused.
I like that.
Yeah. I saw this, man. I've played a little bit of Old Country, and I had the same thought John did, dude. Like I really did. It's this thing of like, you wonder why sometimes developers do ignore people. And it's because people ask for a thing and they get what they want and they go, oh, what the fuck is this? Right. And I think most people understand with Mafia Little Country being a $50 title, that's going to come with concessions, just like Expedition 33 came with concessions, right? Like it did have its, like, for example, they were good concessions. They were good choices. Oh, no side quests, but there are just more fights. So there's no additional storytelling really happening for the most part outside of the main story. But that was a concession made because it's a $50 game. They didn't have the budget to go and do full voice acting for all these other quests. In the case of Mafia Little Country, when I see people sizing it up with Red Dead Redemption, or they're like, you know, people don't understand that when you ask for a $50 game, you're going to get $50 concessions, bro. Like that's what's the reality of it. That budget is going to shrink down because they unless it sells a high volume in copies, like an Expedition, they're making less money off the top of it. You know, so I find it's both surprising and unsurprising that we've ended up here. I mean, we're talking about the same industry that lost their mind over a puddle in Spider-Man.
Yeah, remember Puddlegate?
Puddlegate is infamous, bro. And we thought it was a bump in the road, but it was the start of something there. But with Mafia the Old Country, I think people don't understand when they ask for game, they're not going to get the same $80 quality. And I'm talking about the good $80 or the good $70, not the bad ones. You know, but you're not going to get that level of quality and polish when the budget is smaller because they're paying less people. Like it's not someone's job exclusively to make sure these things are great. They're going to focus on the things that make Mafia great: shooting, animation, walking, talking, story, writing, those sorts of things. Like what makes Mafia Mafia? Mafia is not like, no one wants a swimming mission in Mafia. No one wants to swim in Mafia. It's not something that if it's missing, you notice it because you're in a city. It's a Mafia game. You know, like these are things or chopping wood. It's there enough to create the simulation. But if you're a gamer that looks at those things and goes, I'm not buying that now. You're in the wrong hobby. I said this in my video. I was like, you're in the wrong hobby because these things matter to an extent. But bro, like I equivalent it to like, do you pause a movie and do I look at the extra on set in the background and check if their routine is perfect? Or am I focused on the two characters in front of me interacting with each other in a big story moment? Like when I'm watching Heat and I'm seeing the two main characters talk to each other, am I looking at the fucking bartender in the background? It's like, no. So why does it matter here? Because you can step up to it? I don't know. I find it disappointing. I find it forced as well. And it's engagement bait. That's what it is. But Cog, your thoughts on what's going on with Mafia the Old Country? I think the game is exactly what it needs to be. I think they focused on the right areas. I think it's a good response as well to Mafia 3. You know, it's a smaller prequel title, $50. I think it's doing a lot of $50 game things, and I'm cool with that.
No, well said, well said. You know, it's funny because this was Sov's topic last week on ILP. He wanted to talk about Mafia. He's a big Mafia guy. And he kind of said similar things. He was just like, hey, man, it's a, you know, great narrative, linear title. They know exactly what they're going for. And, you know, if you're a fan of these kind of experiences, you know, you're going to be right in pocket. Now, I did see a little bit of the controversy, and I think it's a combination of things. One, the first thing you said is correct, which is once you see a price point on a game, you have to set the proper expectation. Like, you know, when we see, you know, these $30 games or $50 game, you know, for you to come in there looking for $70, $80 worth of quality, you know, I think you're fooling yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I think, unfortunately, I do feel sorry for the developers in the sense, and the publishers in the sense of this, is that, and I've seen Sony go through this, which is when you develop the blockbuster, right? The Last of Us and all these super hyper realistic graphic #just one games, third person cinematic, when you have all this level of interactivity, all this level of stuff, what happens is the industry has low key spoiled the gamer. And I would say that they've spoiled the gamer that is to be the expectation. But what we're learning in this game industry is that model is not sustainable. These $300 million games, stuff like that, we're in course correction mode right now. So what's happening is now you throw that. So the expectation set. Now, remember, when we saw that last State of Play, me and you loved it. We're like, oh, wow, these smaller games, they're really cool. They're indie, or some of them are creative. They're unique. Wow, dope. Classic Sony. But if we saw the response from the polls and the Keighley polls, it was like D. And I'm like, wow, like, really? Like, And it goes to show you because the expectation has been set based on the bad thing. So there's some responsibility on both parts. Now we get to where we at now, which is like, okay, we're looking at guys cutting the axe. We're looking at water and this, that. We got to be real. Based on exuberance for platforms and exuberance for different titles in the same subgenre, the rage bait, it's very easy to farm and engage. Well, this is doing this versus that, and now I'm a crap on this. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And unfortunately, we're in that, and unfortunately, the algorithm rewards that kind of stuff.
Sure,
it does, and people are going to continue to do it, and it's sad because, again, like you said, look at the price point. Look at what the experience is giving you. Does that take away from it? Is it a bug? Is it broken? That's different, right? If it's broken, it's bug, it's preventing gameplay. Yeah, of course, go in, knock yourself out. But yeah, I do feel sorry because it's like, damn, these developers are doing a lot, set the proper expectation, and still get ripped. And I'm like, damn, that's, I can't subscribe to that.
Right? Yeah, I mean, and most of the replies to these videos or the views from these videos are coming from people who are like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like the people who are actually genuinely pissed off about it is very small in the scheme of things. But I feel bad for the developers. It's like, oh, I spent 5 years on this thing. And the thing that people are talking about most, like the most talked about thing with this game since its release is the water and the wood chopping. And like, no one's talking about like, hey, Mafia 3. By the way, as someone who thinks the game's overhated, I think it's flawed, but I like a lot of Mafia 3.
Yeah.
Hey, that game made a lot of mistakes. Look how well Hangar 13's learned. They remade the first one. They got in touch with the core of the series and they made a new one that is more linear, semi-open at times, but more so closed off. A classic game, a type of game that we've been yearning for a while. Like, it's not here to hold you for 30 hours. It's not structured like Mafia 3, where it turned a 10-hour story, a 15-hour story into like a 40-hour one. It's not that. It's classic Mafia. It's what Mafia should be it's what Mafia is since its very beginning. But people are busy talking about useless bullshit.
Exactly. And sorry, please continue.
No, I was just going to say that part of the problem, I think, comes down to you have these gaps in these releases where people just disconnect for so long from the thing that they love, and it becomes this snapshot in their brain, but they don't, like, it's not like how it used to be where you get like a full trilogy in 6 years. So I think people get away from what is Mafia anyway? Like, but it should be like Red Dead. It's like, no, it shouldn't be. The only game that's tried to be like a standard open world game in the Mafia series was 3. And it was a bad choice in a lot of ways. Mafia 1 and 2 are literal open worlds to hold this. It's like very LA Noir if you want to draw a comparable anywhere. And even LA Noir has some side content. But those are what those games are. Mafia, the old country, is like back to basics, like very linear. And I think more of what people want. And I hope they're getting rewarded for it. You know, it's a solid game.
No, I agree. And again, like you said, you said it perfectly. I think the only thing I would say, you know, in defense of a gamer would be like, okay, the only time you are allowed to do that, in my opinion, is if the developer or the publisher set this is the most hyper realistic world we've ever created.
Sure.
Right. And we've seen times where the marketing team is just going a little too far. And then it's like, all right, then they're gonna put the microscope on each joint and they're gonna go. But again, few and far between. This right here is just really just engagement farming and
100%
baiting. And we know the game. We know the game at this point.
Absolutely. This next one kind of ties into it loosely. It comes from SFish616. Hey, Dukes. Seems like most of the big releases of the fall are set. I will say, shockingly, 2 of the better ones are Battlefield 6 and Borderlands 4. I know these 2 games are very different, but I find it fascinating how 2 huge AAA IP for these new entries went back to basics and are giving what the fans want from both these franchises. If both of these games are received well and sell great, do you think we might see other big IPs embrace what fans want more? Assuming both games review well, which do you think will sell better? Kind of day. Thank you, S. Fish, for writing in. I thought about this a little bit too, is that it's interesting that we do have this conversation in the industry of like giving the fans what they want. Like, it really started and picked up steam we are getting what we want. And it's having a positive effect in like April with Expedition, with its price tag and its quality. It's be like, oh my God, see, we can do this type of game. And Oblivion Remastered. I mean, Bethesda stepped around remasters for a decade, dude. Like, they have been avoiding them so much. And like we had the standards really low for the remaster. When we first started talking about it on my channel, it was like, re-release it on Switch. That's all. They went way further than anyone ever asked them to. Kudos to them, of course, but went way further than anyone ever originally wanted to. Oh, do the Skyrim Special Edition, but it's Fallout 3. Like, just the same game, some light bells and whistles, not like a graphical overhaul and everything like that. A new engine, you know? They over-delivered in a lot of ways, but they priced it fairly too. Yes. And there is this conversation I think is fair about, like, a lot of series have gotten away from giving people what they want. I always go back to Saints Row. That comes to mind for me. Saints Row is like the peak. We're not giving you anything you want or expect or should be having with this game. That game is awful. And just thematically terrible. The story feels so disconnected from anything that was both eras of Saints Row, the crazy dildo smacking era of Saints Row in 3 and 4, but also like the gangster tales of 1 and 2 and like how hardcore GTA competitor it was. It is just the perfect game to look at and go like, yeah, like we really have gotten away from what people want. And that's happened multiple times. Forced live service games like Suicide Squad, like that's not what anyone wanted from Rocksteady. We could have all gotten in the boardroom, and I guarantee 99% of gamers who came in there was like, this is what we're thinking. Be like, what? No. Yeah, so we look at these games here. Battlefield 6, right? After 2042, it's going back. Class system. Hey, we're going to have a scoreboard. Destruction's a focus. Borderlands 4, right? 3 does really well, but also like 3 and Tiny Tina Wonderland, goofy, little too goofy, not well written, gets away from like a kind of dark spirit that 1 and even 2 had. Like 2 was a little more sadistic, but 1 was like, I mean, I love Borderlands 1. Just like pure kind of post-apocalyptic title in a lot of ways. The music takes itself very seriously. Like it's this weird hybrid. 4, I can't believe I'm saying, especially after the movie 4, I can't believe to say I'm excited about 4. Yeah, I can't wait to play Borderlands 4. It's not even about the gun count. I'm like the tone, the atmosphere, the story. I'm like, and there's also like a little bit of a void in the market. Like it's perfectly timed, which is a little bonus. But what do you make of this, Cog? Like giving gamers what they want. Is that number one, something you kind of support? Like you're like, yeah, like we're really not getting a lot of what we want. And now we finally are. And do you think if these games pop off, and we're seeing rewards already in the early parts of the year with, you know, an Oblivion remastered, Expedition, Mafia to an extent, like giving people what they want, do you think that there will be a net positive from all of this?
Yeah, I think so. I think what happens is, you know, as the industry got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and everyone's chasing the bag and trend chasing and wave chasing, there's what I consider the humbling period, where that last entry did not do what you thought it was going to do, stakeholders, right? Because you try to force an initiative, and now it's like, well, you know what? Let's get some community feedback on where we went wrong. And then you start to see it. It's like you see it with Borderlands, you see it with Battlefield. We're going to talk about Battlefield. I got a lot to say about that. And, you know, I see it. And unfortunately, a lot of these companies, you know, they have to fail horribly by missing the target and missing the mission for them to be humbled to come back. Because like one thing that I can think about right now is like, hey, I'm looking at my beloved, you know, Bungie and Destiny. We'll get into that. We're just like, man, like the fans been wanting something else, but you've been pushing and forcing this other thing.
Yeah.
And now look at you.
Yeah.
And we will discuss. But yeah, man, I think so. I think we can have these things coexist.
Sure.
And, you know, I do think we are slowly getting, especially also with budgets being affected and stuff. You can't afford to miss. These games take a long time to make. You can't afford to miss. And then you can't afford to not have a content pipeline if you are AKA live service or something that's going to demand a lot of engagement. And we have a lot of lessons of what not to do, or you will have the biggest flops in gaming. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, again, we're in that watershed moment, but budgets are too big. Listen to your community. You did all the trend chasing, wave jumping that you tried, and now it's time to get back to basics and what gamers want. And I think slowly we are getting there, and we're seeing a little bit of a course correction.
Yeah. So I'm a little optimistic looking ahead, you know, but there's a company that tried to do that very thing, but they were not allowed to. Let's talk a bit about BioWare. This will be getting into my interview a little bit here with Darrah. Custom Alex has the right. He said, hey, Dukes, Congrats on the big BioWare interview, Matty. It was very informative and insightful on the behind the scenes of EA and BioWare. I was wondering what your biggest takeaways were, and did it change your thoughts on Mass Effect meeting expectations? So IGN quoted the story, and I just want to read exactly what Darrah said for those who haven't listened yet. Because I asked him about the future of the Dragon Age franchise, and he said, I honestly think they should I don't think they will, but they should do a remaster of the first 3 Dragon Age games. One of the things we pitched at one point, pretty softly, so pitched might be a massive overstatement, was to retroactively rebrand the first games as if they were a trilogy, call it the Champions Trilogy. So you have these larger-than-life heroes. Maybe you do that as a first step. You shine them up, you re-release them, probably remaster, probably not a remake, see what happens, and maybe go from there. I'm very curious to see in a weird, twisted way, the Mass Effect franchise and the Dragon Age franchise are in similar states. They have a trilogy of games that are pretty well received, and a 4th game that is less well received. I'll be curious to see what Mass Effect does with Mass Effect 5, and how does Andromeda fit in there. Yeah. It continues that EA's historically been, and I don't know why, but they've even said this publicly, they're kind of against remasters. I don't know why, but it's strange for a publicly traded company to seemingly be against free money, but they seem to be against it, so that's part of it. The other problem is Dragon Age is harder than Mass Effect to do. To some degree, unknowably harder, maybe only a little bit harder, maybe a lot harder. This is him kind of thinking to himself.
Yeah, thinking out loud, yeah.
He said, one of the very earliest things for Joplin, which was the original version of Dragon Age 4 before the multiplayer reboot, was let's do Frostbite tools, and then let's find a mod house that seems talented and just uplift them and pay them to do a remake of Dragon Age Origins. There were a lot of pitches around, is there a way to bring Dragon Age Origins forward? And depending what you do, a remaster, you kind of get Dragon Age 2 for free. A remake, you don't. You can't really remaster Dragon Age externally. You probably have to do that internally. The studios run their own financials within themselves. And to some degree, EA's stance was probably, sure, go ahead and do it, but do it with the money you already have. And it was like, well, we can't do it with the money we have because we're already doing all of these other things, end quote. So yeah, he gave me a really loaded answer on this, more than I ever expected him to do. Because like in my experience of talking to some of these developers, some are less speculative and open than others. And which is why like when people give me props, I always go to the interview targets. I'm like, most of you aren't even here for me. Like, let's be real. Like, you're here to hear like a legend talk about a franchise we care about, and I'm kind of the vector for those questions. And so, it's all thanks to the dance partner at the end of the day. And he was a great dance partner. He was really giving me a lot of good shit where one of the top comments on the interview is like Matty realizing in real time Dragon Age Origins can't come back. And because you literally see my face like, oh no. Like, I literally said in the interview, like, oh dude, that sucks to hear. Like I couldn't hold it back. I was like, it's such a bummer. But him being an ex-dev is great. It's something I want to target with some other interviews because you realize how much more freely they can speak. I still get great answers from people who are working in these companies, but there's a little bit of a should I not that goes on. And with this, I mean, BioWare as a company is very interesting. They're kind of shell of themselves at this point. So to get someone who has been there for like most of their lifetime and has only just left recently to kind of pull apart what happened with Dragon Age, I thought was interesting. Now, to me, if we're talking about in Alex's question, the biggest takeaway, it really was that remaster question, but also what he talked about with Veilguard's tone. The remaster is obviously based on what I've said before. If anyone's watched my videos, like after Mass Effect Legendary Edition happened, I mentioned in the interview, I said, I immediately started beating the war drum. Like, we got to do this for Dragon Age. Like, this series deserves it.
I remember you said that. Yes.
It's like an unbelievably obvious choice. And it's a safe choice. I still even think nowadays it's a safe choice. Even after Veilguard, I'm like, this will make money because honestly, out of spite of Veilguard, people will be like, yeah, this is what we want. Like,
just the real.
Yeah. And I think a remake or even just a plain remaster of Origins is an even safer choice because that's especially after Baldur's Gate 3, that's the nerdy shit people want. But really what I want to lean into is what he talked about with Veilguard, to kind of get into the muck of that one a bit, because it was a troubled project and we knew that. And there's been a lot of pieces, like particularly from Jason Schreier about it, but to really pick apart the creative process, like, okay, you chose to go into this tonal route. I already knew with the Schreier piece, you went this tonal route because it was part of the initial multiplayer vision of the game. Right. And this was established by a prior art director. But I was kind of like, let's get into the I don't like to use this term unless it's very applicable, but the Disneyification, the Marvel writing, like this is a true example of it. Dragon Age has never been that. And to kind of get into his answer, it's kind of up to who you want to believe or not. Like there were some people in the comments who were like, I don't really get why you'd go this route. It seems not believable, but again, it depends on where you stand. I'll be curious how you think about it. But I asked him about the tone, and he got into how like Dragon Age was kind of a series about trend chasing. Like Origins, I didn't know this, was always supposed to be a one-off, but it made a lot of money. So they had to make a sequel because it was a good money opportunity.
Okay.
But what was trending at the time? Action games. So Mass Effect's trending. So like get Dragon Age to where Mass Effect is and it'll do even better. So bada bing, bada boom, you do Dragon Age 2 in like a year's time. You try to do this impossible feat of like transitioning Origins into an action game. And people are like, well, this isn't a sequel. I mean, even Darrah says it, like people reacted like this isn't a sequel to the thing I loved.
Right.
And that was my initial reaction. I love Dragon Age 2 now, but like it takes a lot of, it's a game that's benefited from time and knowing what it is getting into it. But at its release, it was immensely disappointing because it's like, this is not the sequel to the thing I love. And then Inquisition was a bit of the like Skyrim effect. Like it's 3 years after Skyrim, and the Hinterlands is like this whole attempt to recreate Skyrim. It's a black hole of content, and it'll keep you there forever. That was the new trend chase for it, like the endless content, the forever video game, and that hurt that game as well. But it ends up being, as I'll get into, the best-selling game BioWare has ever done.
I know.
That's the point in the conversation here. And to be fair, units sold versus revenue generated, that's an interesting conversation
that's another
to have there, because like the game could be selling 12 million units, but most of those might be at $10, $20, you know?
Right.
Let's keep that in mind. But
that's fair.
Still, best-selling game, that's a good metric to go off of.
Yeah.
But the series has always been a tough spot. One thing that I didn't see picked up by the press was that Darrah pointed to a book behind him and literally said, we had this lore book we created to go to people, executives at EA. They had to report to the sports team. BioWare reported to the sports team.
What?
To like for financials, to get like that sort of shit. So it's easy to blame BioWare. And I think there are many places to, like for Veilguard's tone, as I'll get into, to blame them. But EA is just as at fault, but I think they have been easy to skirt around. Because it's not until that interview that you really get into like, dude, you had your RPG team reporting to your sports team. What?
Okay.
What kind of sense does that fucking make, dude?
Yeah.
So to the tone, what was popular when they started working on it? Marvel. We were on the ascension of the MCU.
Yes.
You start putting this writing in ink, you start voicing it, project's in trouble, you're keeping all of these created assets. This is the game. And in a lot of ways, the marketing was true to what we got, but it's not what the fans wanted, to our question beforehand, right? Which is why I wanted to order it this way. It's not what we wanted. But to see that a lot of these choices were incentivized by EA to kind of be like, even though you're the best-selling game this company has made, we want you to do this with the franchise because it'll do better, was strange for me to learn. Again, if you believe Darrah, because you see that trend chasing, you see the sales, but why was Mass Effect always allowed to be this thing? It's like it just fit EA's particular tastes more, like third-person shooter, high fidelity. It's still a nerdy RPG, but it made the bread. So it is a continuous, again, not trying to victimize it, because I hope people don't misinterpret it, but it is a real mistreating of the Dragon Age franchise, constantly turning into something it's not. The reality is people fell in love with Dragon Age for what Origins did. It goes that far back. That's not to say that people don't love 2, don't love Inquisition, or even Veilguard, but Dragon Age is Origins. That is it through and through. And I think 2 carries the spirit in a lot of ways. It just doesn't have the same gameplay systems that I think made it fun to replay. And it has a voice protagonist. Again, it tries to make it Mass Effect. But again, I think that interview was so enlightening from that perspective, because I went, blaming BioWare is the easy route. It's their fault in a lot of ways, but not including EA beyond like the, it's EA. They forced online passes in the Mass Effect 3. Go deeper than that. What we learned there was really the root of like bad creative decisions made by BioWare and EA incentivizing them. It being like, hey, yeah, dude, do Marvel style writing. Like that's what's popular. It's like, well, what's good for Dragon Age? No one in the building was saying that. That's the problem. So even though the BioWare team was mostly composed of like a lot of veterans who worked on the series since Origin, since its very beginning, or have been in BioWare, like the original writers of Dragon Age were on Veilguard, like Darrah, who's been there since the beginning, was on Veilguard. Like it just bad creative decision making, or irreversible decisions made. I was also surprised to learn about the managing of the financials. Like EA didn't want to do a Dragon Age remaster themselves. Like I get why they would, have their own, like, hey, manage this yourself. But EA not seeing like, oh, hey, Mass Effect Legendary Edition did well for us, so we're going to do this for our other franchise. The fact that they wouldn't go out on a limb and be like, well, let's fund this ourselves is very, very perplexing to me. But that is the publisher of a once prolific single player RPG studio. And so it was just, a great interview, like answers, not to hype myself up, just what Darrah said.
No, I love it.
He provided so much insight on, if you care about that franchise, or really BioWare, you're not going to Alex's question, and I'll pass it to you, Cog. There's nothing I really learned that I went, oh, I'm feeling one way or another about Mass Effect, because Darrah's not involved. Darrah's gone. He's been gone. He was gone since 22, but then came back in 24 to freelance executive produce for the game, which is not really a good combination. Wow. And then left afterwards. Like he was on a contract. So he's not involved in anything. Mass Effect, I think they made a lot of the right choices. They got rid of a lot of the talent that made these bad choices on Dragon Age Veilguard. And I'm usually not one to be like, I'm not one to be like, layoffs, but like that was a bad game. That was like just bad creatively. And I get why heads had to roll after that. Like it killed the franchise.
Right.
And the only way to bring it back is to reboot it or remake the original.
Right.
Or Champions Trilogy is right there. And I really think they'd be wise to do that. So nothing really on the terms of Mass Effect, but Cog, I've talked along on this.
No, this is good.
I'd love to hear what you think about what Darrah had to say about Dragon Age and EA and Mass Effect and all that good stuff.
A lot of gems, man. Thank you for this one, because I didn't catch. I was still catching up to your Fargo. I was like halfway through that, and then I didn't get a chance. Like, damn, he dropped the Darrah already. Oh, he cooking. He got him lined up. So I'm still playing catch up, but I'm glad. Thank you for the TLDR on it and some of it. Look, the more you talk about what he's saying, the more I get that EA just does not believe in that franchise as a profitable franchise. When you tell me that the first one was like, oh, we're just going to do one. Oh, wow, they like that. Okay, cool. Now, if the thought process, which you said eloquently, is to make a sequel, and the sequel is so directly different from its original conception, then that's where the trend chasing and trying to catch a wave jumps in, right? And you see this throughout the games industry. Unfortunately, this is the dichotomy of gaming development, in my opinion, what I'm seeing, which is what the gamer wants and what the gamer falls in love with versus what stakeholders want and what they are trying to do to maximize profit. And unfortunately, they're looking, at this time, because we even heard this about Halo development. At one point, it was a Rainbow Six Siege style game at one point, because they're looking at what's going on. You're making this pure hardcore thing, but that's popping. Why don't we got a Fortnite thing? What's up? What's up, Mark? Why can't we do that? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the fight developers have to fight with the publisher or the owner, like, all the time. These are the battles no one wants to talk about. And here's the other side of it, which I know you ain't gonna like, but I gotta say it, which is, obviously, I'm an Inquisition fan, of course, right? I'm not a hardcore guy like you. I wasn't there from the beginning. I came in late to the series. I thought it was cool, but I understand the core hardcore guys like, that is still a departure.
Especially after Veilguard, Inquisition's a redeemable game. It's not irredeemable. It's not awful. It's just bloated. That's the big thing. Yeah.
And I get it. And it's just like, they went for this. They did that. It did well, right? And then it's just like, now again, to your point, we don't know how much we don't know how much investment they're putting in on these games, and are they getting profit or return? It's one thing to say revenue, it's another thing to say profit. See, that we don't know. So there's a part of me that EA is like, yo, we could have said, yo, we spent wild bread for this game. Yeah, it's critically acclaimed and whatever. Because I remember they put a multiplayer component in Inquisition?
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So when I see that,
it's in that era where like everyone was getting a little multiplayer in.
Yes, even Mass Effect from 2 to 3.
That shit was so good. Mass Effect 3.
And that one was actually good.
I love Mass Effect 3.
I did like that one. I ain't gonna front. And it used to affect your, planet, galactic readiness and all of that. And it was good. It was addicting, but it's like, it is a risk, right? Because it's like, you could affect the core fan of this thing that don't want to do anything to do with that, and it's not good. Or, the flip side. So I think that's the struggle with game development, bro. It's just you're constantly fighting with the overlords on what's popping and what's wanting to make money. And now, in defense, I got to be corporate cock for a second. There are times now where we, the gamer, like, yo, that game was it. You need to do a direct sequel to that. And they like, bro, we got the data. The joint that you saying with triple plastic. And now we're not giving you no bread for a second one unless you do what we tell you to do. See, that's and it sucks because gaming, let's be honest, this is art. It's hard to monetize and art in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like you want creativity to be always the forefront. And it's just, man, it's a tough business. That's why I say I love these stories because you truly learn what the struggles were and what people fight for. Even little things. Just I would imagine he's got gems for you on things that, fought for as an inclusion that people didn't see. And then that ended up being something successful, in the game that they were probably getting a lot of pushback not to include. There's always these battles that you never know. The unsung heroes that, one thing I am learning is like, I love what Darrah is doing. Like he was on the top level. A lot of times he was contracted. What I like about him, he's like various different management levels. So he could give you multiple perspectives on a project. And that's rare. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times only the top guy will get the credit, the hate, you know what I'm saying? Whereas, he may have been fighting someone on his own team that's actually responsible for making the game that we like because of the additions and inclusions and stuff that we like. Yeah. So yeah, it's a tough biz, man. But my overall synopsis, I want to watch that full video because it sounds amazing, is that I just don't think they believe in it, bro. And now with Veilguard, after what happened, it's a rizzy. The fact that last thing point, they didn't even want to do. I got to give EA smoke though. Why y'all don't want to do a remaster of the joints that people like?
Yeah.
That's low lift. That's a $30, $40 jump off.
Yeah.
Code, hopefully it's still there, unless you telling me you don't got the code.
Yeah, the Dragon Age hopped engines, which at least Mass Effect was on the same engine for all three games. So I imagine that was an easier lift. But again, I think just even one by one-ing it, like that's the EA way. Like
that's the EA way, baby.
So
Dead Space this thing and let's go. Like what are we doing?
Yeah, I agree. I think it is a very obvious choice. And if you're looking to rebuild Dragon Age, I mean, look, I will say one thing is true is that when they iced Mass Effect, it was for the better. They iced it with Andromeda. It was a disaster. They came back with Legendary Edition, though.
Yes.
And we had enough time to heal.
Yes.
We then remembered why we liked this stuff and BioWare in the first place. And it was pre-Veilguard, before the wheels came off, pre-trailer Veilguard, might I also add.
Yes.
Where it was a level of like, okay, if they are, and they're single player now? Oh, and they're doing like choices now? Okay, like maybe BioWare's back. It was strategic. It was smart. And so that's why, like the business acumen, like EA knows how to make money. It's like, what? Like to build up Mass Effect, remind people why they cared about BioWare. Give them Dragon Age 1 through 3, or at least Origins. It just seems so no duh about it. To give that series a leg to stand on, like I don't think it should be full abandoned. I think Veilguard is terrible, and I do think the series is done, but should it be permanently abandoned, forever gone? No, I don't think so.
I mean, you made a good point too, and I can't. I mean, the obvious. It could be just very much the obvious of what you said, which is when you mentioned they had to report to the sports team.
Yeah,
And now that I look at it objectively as a person who's followed EA for a long time, there's, the Trip Hawkins days, stuff like that. Madden, FIFA is their core DNA. It just is. So maybe it is a situation where the way the whole corporation is structured, it's a blockbuster sports industry. Even Peter Moore was there at one point, and he was leading all these sports initiatives with at the time, I think they had the boxing games and stuff like that, and obviously Fight FIFA and all that. But yeah, it just could be just their DNA is just not structured towards any type of RPG. So you're always maybe looked at as the redheaded stepchild division. And obviously we're going to get into Battlefield and stuff like that, which you're trying to push. But yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Like, really, EA is not. And then didn't they acquire BioWare, right? They acquired them.
It's like, oh, no.
Yeah, they're just, it's not, it just may be a very simple answer. It's just not in their corporate DNA outside of the big blockbuster sports phenomenon kind of thing. And then they acquired them, said, okay, we're going to diversify our portfolio, but we're not able to nurture them and give them the care that the other franchise would get, because that's just not inherently who we are. Yeah. Right. And that could be it.
Well, that's what's going on with Dragon Age and BioWare. If anyone wants to check out the interview, it's on my channel.
I got to watch it.
This has been making the news. PlayStation. Are they moving away from hardware, or is it Sony? I got two translations for y'all. I got one from Seeking Alpha. I got one from our man Genki. And we'll start with Seeking Alpha. This quote comes from Sadahiko Hayakawa, who is the SVP at Sony. So this is the interpreted / translation from Seeking Alpha. Quote, "Thank you so much for the question." By the way, this is during investor meeting if I didn't specify that already. So the investment in Bandai, and of course, we have been shifting to creation. So for example, the Entertainment 3 businesses basically account for 60% of our consolidated revenue. So basically our business portfolio is shifting more to the creation. And then as for the electronics business and TV, compared to output devices, we are now shifting to creation devices that include the digital camera. So as a result, we are seeing more stability in profitability and in revenue, and also the productivity of our performance is increasing. And against such backdrop, and for example, in the music business, music streaming and ME Music publishing has been acquired, and then we increased the music catalog. And as I mentioned in the speech, in gaming's business, and moving away from a hardware-centric business to more of the community-based engagement business, and then that has been increasing. So now, as we make more transitions to the entertainment creation, the stability and productivity of it, our performance is increasing. So this upward revision might not have been a direct result of these. However, the music publishing and also acquisition of music catalog and the acquisition of Crunchyroll, these are all areas where we are seeing growth. And as a portfolio, we've been expanding our businesses and also improving profitability. Meanwhile, Genki writes the following, quote, "In the gaming business, we are moving away from a hardware-centric business model more to a platform business that expands the community and increases engagement." Genki continues on the right. He says overall, Sony are making a shift to creation as a company, as the three segments of games, music, and pictures make up for 60% of Sony's total revenue. For example, shifting from output devices like TVs and to creation devices like digital cameras. Also things like music streaming, music catalogs, Crunchyroll, and teaming up with Bandai Namco to create entertainment and IP. And the gaming business, the shift towards a platform business is increasing. He says they are transitioning to entertainment creation to expand and improve stability and profitability. Genki continues writing, "For further context, the question that was asked from the media was that Sony are aggressively investing in IP content creation, such as investing in Bandai Namco. How do they evaluate those investment results so far? And is there a specific investment that caused them to revise their forecast upwards?" The answer talked about the overall strategy for Sony focused on creation, and with games business, shift more focus to the platform business. Note, this does not mean Sony will stop making console hardware anytime soon, but they say that they will increase focus and investment on the platform business and model going forward. So those are your two translations. Cog, do you read this and think Xbox was right all along? PlayStation's doing the same thing. They were just ahead of the curve. What is our read of this situation? Because I've seen some people getting a little carried away here. So what is our read of this news from Mr. Hayakawa?
It's funny to me. I mean, again, I don't know how more clear it needs to be. I think it's literally there. Like are they going away? We're not making hardware anymore. No. Do I think it's hey, effective tomorrow, every first person, Sony PlayStation game is going to be on every platform? No, I don't think that is either. But I will admit, when you use the word moving away from a hardware-centric business to a platform-centric business to me is how I look at live service, how I look at franchise, how I look at things that we have to admit the gaming model has changed in the way that we are conditioned. You make exclusive content. They buy the console. Mm-hmm. They buy the hardware. Yeah. That has been the model and successful model for years. Yeah. Years. That's the formula. That's what I come from. You make exclusives. You generate people to come to the hardware. Then they have third-party stuff already there. Boom. That's what it is. What we're seeing now is the combination of multiple things. One, people are not transitioning to new hardware the way they once did. Right? So is the console market dying? It's dead? No. But it's one of those situations where we're seeing a shift, right? So that you got to change the play, because if these guys are not all, remember I told you about the Sinister Six games, free-to-play games, which those are the ones that are hurting the model. The Sony model and the Xbox model. Xbox is different. They were forced to accelerate at a different phase for different reasons. What I'm saying is Sony's looking at this and like, okay, if we continue with just playing the old playbook, we could be in trouble long term. So we got to do these subtle shifts to a platform-centric business. Why? That's why maybe there was the investment into live service and the overcommitment. But that's what I see what's going on. And they're sitting there for the first time being honest about it. Now, yes, we have the job listing. I know people going crazy with the job listing too. I will admit, though, I was shocked to see Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and other things by name, regardless of that. Okay, cool. So people say that's not a big deal, COG. Okay, cool. But then we do now have the information about Helldivers, right? And now we got the additional context that Arrowhead CEO said that was Sony's idea. Yeah. So again, platform-centric model. Old Sony was saying, no. We will money hack. We will keep this on our platform to encourage engagement for you to come to the PlayStation platform and buy PlayStation hardware. Now they're realizing with the cost and everything else, you know what? Let's see what happens if we put this over there and put a couple of things over there. And does that gain us revenue? Does it gain that profit? And I think that's what is it an aggressive shift that everyone thinks it is? I don't think it. I know, God bless my brother King. He all the way with it, right? But I'm not there, right? I'm with like live service. Yes. We talked, remember me and you, we did a Secret Service Plus with Khaled, right? We had a couple of things that we say, okay, this maybe couldn't make sense. We're still in that experimental phase, but like I said, we're still in the sexting phase. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, we're not going to do something so aggressive that we are going to damage our brand. And mind you, there are still, 80 million PlayStation 5s, consoles out there. So you're not just abandoning those and just like, yo, yeah. Now we, say whatever. But I know it's not popular. I will say that I got to be a little messy, Matty. It's a little bit. Because I was told the third place console, that's not the winning formula to put your games on PC. That's not the winning formula to go multi-platform. And you can make the argument, yeah, they were aggressive in doing this approach because they weren't selling or the Game Pass model was failing. Fair. I will fight you on that. What I'm saying is it is interesting because if you are the dominant leader in hardware, if your way is the number one way to do this, which is sell hardware, sell PlayStation, all this, you're not entertaining this stuff because you're in a dominant position. So what that shows me is you are being proactive, slowly, gradually, measured, just to see and have protections for yourself. The only person who's absolved Gene Park, though, come for me, Nintendo, right now. They are in a very unique position, right? that they have so much IP brand power and they're in a unique space at handheld and the kid aspect, they're in a whole different pocket that they continue to beat to the drum, and it hasn't affected them the way these two high performant, next generation, extremely high budget console makers, Xbox and PlayStation, are. They're just not in that. So Nintendo's a little bit more thrifty and more smart in the way they do things. So I think that's what's going on here. So yeah, and my messy part was like, we have to say, again, you could question Xbox's messaging. You could question how they flip-flop, they do all type of stupid stuff, but you can't question that at the end of the day, where did the industry ended up going? The exact way that they actually pivoted to, which is PC, multi-platform, online. They've done that, and they've got successful live services. You could say, with obviously we'll talk about Grounded, we could talk about Sea of Thieves, we could talk about, Minecraft, Roblox. They own literally the top 3 or 4 Sinister Sixes on their joint, and they benefit from it. So that's my only little messiness a little bit with it. But look, I get it. This is going to be, it's going to be a shift for a lot of people emotionally to see that from PlayStation, which is what we're known for, them exclusives and hardware #1 and stuff like that. When you see that mentioned, some people, it's the same thing when I told people they're gonna feel it when we talk about certain platforms from Xbox. Over we're in this timeline, and just get ready, guys. That's all I'm saying. I'm not jumping out the window. I'm not saying anything super crazy on it, but they are flirting, and that's what I think is going on. But I have rambled. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm like halfway there. I think you're right. Yeah. Like, I think it's inevitability over time. It's just about how long that is. I do think PlayStation wants to play the long game with this, not even just to preserve their brand, right? Like, I think Xbox ultimately will be right, but they also hurt their brand by dramatically, aggressively pivoting, where we're seeing them in the top sales. They're making great money off of software, but the optics are in complete tatters and still haven't recovered at all. PlayStation obviously needs to be careful with that sort of stuff. I think part of the reason they're shifting as well, I'm kicking the Sacred Symbols Horde nest here. I already know I'm going to comment, boys. I'll see you down there. Lack of first party releases across a generation will do this, dude. Like, speaking from experience, that'll do it. It's definitely been on and off. And I know people are going to bring up I call them the partnership games, your Stellar Blades, your Final Fantasy, but you got to pay to get those on a significant level. Like, there's funding and then exclusivity deals and marketing. I mean, there's so much that goes into that versus a team you already own and kind of built into your financials quarter by quarter, I suppose is how I would word it. So I think that's part of it. But I think PlayStation plays a long game here, just because if you're looking at Xbox as like a direct competitor, and there's rumors of Xbox's next system being able to host these multiple storefronts, can PlayStation games make their way to Xbox through another launcher? Do you really have to make a Xbox SKU if, say, Xbox has this new console functioning like a PC and Steam's there? I think where PlayStation gets a little more aggressive and that they just need to rip the Band-Aid off on is like PC. Like, get a proper launcher over there. Like, really take it seriously. And they have, by the way, but not the delayed port energy. Like, get to day and date. Get the syncing of trophies right. Like, get a launcher going. Like, that PC investment is, I think, way more valuable to them. I think the shock factor of PlayStation or Xbox comes second. I think there are certain games that I think will be stunners. Like, I've talked about already how I think Spider-Man could eventually be one, but it's not because of PlayStation. I view it as sort of an MLB The Show moment. That wasn't PlayStation's choice. MLB twisted the arm, and Xbox was wise to twist that arm. So I don't know what the contract is, but can you if you're Xbox, can you run it through Disney? I'm sure if they could, maybe they would have, but the same could have been said for MLB The Show. So again, I think there are some stunners that are in wait or in hiding, but for the most part, I'm thinking like day and date for your live service games, your marathons or whatever's like it. Your Last of Us, though, even defunct franchise, like a Days Gone, like even that, I'm like, I don't think for a while. Like, not until they get into the phase that Xbox is in right now. Xbox is in their port bag. They're doubling up on everybody right now, and it shows in the sales charts. Say like, oh, you already bought this, buy it again. Here's Gears Reloaded. Here's Forza Horizon 5. And PlayStation, when they do that, it will go crazy. I refuse to believe one thing, which is that Sony execs, and they have the same type of shareholders, like, where's my money at? Are looking at Xbox and going like, well, why don't we, like, do you think, like, we already were selling more copies of games than them. You think if we put The Last of Us, or we put Horizon, or we put like these games that are proven to sell in more places to sell them, that this would be bad for us? Is that what you're saying? So I'd refuse to believe that they're not talking about it, not thinking about it. They've been public about as much, but are they moving away from hardware? I don't think so. It's such it's like Apple. It's like Apple will never move away from hardware. They might give you more redundant hardware though. I view PlayStation a lot like that. But I think they'll be slow moving because, number one, it's more like, at least they appear more stable, and they should be more stable. They have more consoles out there, more people buying games over there. They should have more cash flow. Xbox had to survive under the eye of Satya and Amy Hood. And so we'll see if the crackdown gets crazy on PlayStation, but we're starting to see some cracks, no doubt about it. I think for those who are diehards, brace yourself, but I don't think you got to brace yourself for another who knows how many years. But, you know, get ready. I don't know if it'll be a hard pivot like Xbox, but I think you're going to see a little bit of change. And I don't know if the real question is the brand strength of PlayStation, if they can kind of sit in the Nintendo position, like as a true gaming brand, or should they go beyond that? Right. I think there is value from PlayStation's point of view of being what they are now. So again, I'm not with a lot of the Xbox fans I'm seeing online, like jumping ship completely. I'm just not there. But when you have, like Cog showed on his phone that one time, when I catch a girl at the club, when there are businesses set up and there's job listings I'm not, by the way, as I talked about, not putting all the stock in the job listing, but when there are clear signs of a focus, I think at the very least you're coming to PC. Like, I think at the very least that is like more of a day and date thing rather than we'll do this eventually when it's acceptable and it's okay. It's like, I think they might rip the Band-Aid on that.
Yeah, I mean, Helldivers actually was one of the first, right? Because before this whole Xbox thing, that was one of the first. I was like, wow, it is coming to PC initially, right, kind of thing. And no, you made good points as far as that. I just sent you a link real quick, and I just thought it was interesting. It was like, hey, PlayStation made more from cross-platform games than it did from physical sales in quarter 2025. Sony's new other software segment has outstripped physical sales revenue, signaling that Sony's decision to break PS5 game exclusivity is successful. So pretty much the TLDR is that the Q1 2025 financials realize that this shift in this other software segment, including first-party titles on PC and non-PlayStation platforms. And it said this cross-platform strategy supports community engagement and diversifies revenue beyond hardware sales. And that's the only point I want to say is that, is hardware dying? No. All I'm trying to say is that, and I got a little slack on this, but don't come for me, man. I got a little slack on this analogy. I was like, do you want to be the heavyweight champion of a league that may not be growing anymore? So I used the AEW. And
that's fair, bro. I dropped AEW.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know if I was slanderous.
No, you're good. They are not as big as they used to be. Yeah.
Shout out to my man Country Vic, who's actually a professional wrestler in real life. He's like, you gonna get slings for that one. I was like, bro, it's like, you could yell for the rooftops that I am the champion of AEW, right? But like, what does that mean if you looking at the other organizations or, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's all I'm saying. So again, does it mean that console is dying, that because PlayStation, that it's no, but it is something that you got to look 10 years down the road, right? With the way gaming trends are, that may change, and you have to put some inroads in.
Yeah.
And this cross-platform strategy with a measured approach, right? Because they still have a lot of PlayStations out there. I'm not poo-pooing that, right? But you got it, and you've also had some live service situations that you want to get popping. So that's all. Sure. That's all I'm saying.
Right on. Well, we'll monitor years down the line. We'll be able to talk about it. We'll see where it goes.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Rod Ferguson, the finisher. He's leaving Blizzard. He posts on his Blue Sky account after 5 years driving the Diablo franchise with 4 big launches. It's time to step away from Blizzard/Microsoft, sword in hand, and see what's next. I'm proud of what we've built and excited for what's ahead for Diablo and for me. So he's not leaving gaming, but this is again, again, we've talked about the importance of Rod Ferguson before, his history with Xbox, with the Gears franchise, but also now Diablo. Where you stand on Diablo is a little less relevant here at this moment in time, just because we're talking about a guy who is really well known for shipping games. That has been a big problem at Xbox, and we've talked about the legend loss at Xbox. Add his name to the list. It is really shitty to see, where I think we were talking, Cog, and I think we said it's Fargo, it's Todd, it's Fergus. That's really the list, and it was significantly longer than that last year. So this is a big loss. I cannot state that enough. But Cog, your thoughts? This is kind of your man. You're the one who really put me onto him.
This is a huge loss. I am not sugarcoating this one. He may not have the fanfare of a Todd or some of his contemporaries because he's more understated, but every executive, every developer that has crossed paths and worked with this man speaks his name in such high regard, high volume. This is a guy that understands getting something across the finish line, who understands the pressure of game development. I had a chance to meet him during the Gears 1 remaster Xbox One days. That's my first time meeting him at a fan event and just sitting there and playing it for the first time. That's when Gears finally first went like 1080p 60, the whole remaster, just of part one. Remember? They didn't do part 2, 3, but just part 1. And I was like, man, this is wow. This is amazing. We would just sit there. One of the nicest individuals. And, he was responsible during the whole coalition days of really helping stuff. And then even before that, like, again, I'm fortunate to have the interview with Cliffy B and go through his history. Cliffy's a very confident individual. He's not afraid to tell you about what he did. He'll pop off. When I spoke Rod Ferguson's name, that man said, look, that man reeled me in. If it wasn't for him, the Gears franchise wouldn't be where it was. Getting deadlines, being able to take the tough feedback, able to challenge you on your own vision and what makes sense for the product. Then we hear, okay, boom, he leaves Coalition, he goes to Blizzard. We like, oh, Blizzard got one. And then obviously ABK happened. So we like, boom. But to your point, man, look, I'm not sugarcoating this. Look, I know people move on and if you got another gig or whatever, but Xbox is losing a lot of legendary leadership. It is a little bit of a question mark for me, because at the end of the day, it's like, is it, okay, yeah, someone threw a bag at you. If that's the case, okay, fine. I'm not going to get mad at someone taking it back. But is it, I got to say it. I'm sorry, Xbox executives, if you don't like it, but it's like, bro, like, are you fostering a culture that makes people now say, either A, you're not valuing us, B, we don't like the conditions inside, and we got to go. And again, I don't want to get too crazy, but I have to mention it. What is it? Your man from the Initiative, right? Oh, yeah. Yep, your man at ZeniMax Online. These are legendary people, right? Like, you can't just lose all of these all-stars and there's not going to be no effect. I am sorry. You know what I'm saying? So again, I will take it back if we find, no, Cog is just, bro, they just threw a bag. They threw the Netflix bag at him. That's the new J. Everybody getting the Netflix bag. Hey, man, if it's never to do your thing, I just worry about your long-term future. But for people to leave, I am concerned about, look, let's just show, Matty, me and you can say this. We know a lot of people in the building, and the culture is not at the highest point right now internally. It is not. I am not sure. There are people that I wouldn't even say the things that they say because it's so, and they like, nah, you can say that. And I'm like, nope, I can't do it. I will just say that there's a lot of people unhappy with the current direction internally and the climate and culture. Yeah. And one thing about games, it's about culture and teams and art. And if you disrupt that flow and you become too Borg and Eye of Sapiens, it affects game development. So again, I do raise my eyebrow on this one because that man knows how to ship video games. It reminds me the PlayStation equivalent, and I had this conversation with Jaffe. It reminded me how glowingly he used to talk of Connie Booth, I believe. And he said, Cog, you don't understand. This is lifeblood PlayStation. You don't understand the things that you love. And this is responsible. She's responsible. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. Ferguson's one of those.
Yeah. The intangible, right? Like again, you said, like, not the superstar name. You probably heard his name, but you know, one of the things that I've heard from some of these devs I've spoken to, even off the record, just is like, a lot of people know how to make great games, but shipping them, man, like, you got to pretty much, like, these people function as more than this, but like a big pair of scissors that just comes in and says, that's enough, snip.
Facts.
Like that's going to do it. Thank you.
Oh.
And that requires knowledge of all trades, you know, and the ability for your team to trust that and not go rogue and be like, okay, we'll stop. You know, tough. Yeah. It's tough. So it is a big loss. And yeah, there is a lot of resentment at Microsoft. And the timing is a little bit of an eyebrow raiser, where in the wake of all the layoffs, it's a little bit of okay, like, I don't blame you. And I know for a fact a lot of other people at Microsoft are doing it. Timely vacations, timely exits,
bro,
timely breaks.
Timely out of offices. Yep. All of a sudden,
bro, a lot of it
for people.
Timely. Hey, just a heads up, filled out my resume. If you know anyone looking, a lot of within the last month,
facts,
which should be no surprise to anybody, but that's where they're at right now as a company. They have fostered a terrible culture, which is why when people go, last year, like really 2 of those studios went. And I'm like, well, look what it's resulted in. The people around see that. They're humans, man.
Exactly.
Like, it's people, but I know it's the mushy gushy shit many people with a decent business acumen don't want to hear about, but it matters.
It matters. It matters. Team composition, game development, chemistry, morale, all of that matters. It does for great games. Yeah, well said. Well said. I had to say that as well.
Yeah, and you know what pissed me off? I worked at Xbox. Is this new segment here we got?
What we got?
Sarah Bond, president of Xbox, joins Tyson Foods. I got the press release here because I think it's some of the most surreal shit I've ever read. It's titled Tyson Foods names Microsoft executive to board of directors. Which, by the way, not a terribly uncommon thing, but I have some thoughts. Tyson Foods today announced the appointment of Sarah Bond as a new independent director on its board effective immediately. As president of Xbox, Bond leads the organization driving Xbox's innovation and growth across hardware, software, and services as part of Microsoft's global $23 billion gaming business. Her portfolio includes strategy, product and engineering, marketing, and commercial planning and operations. She joined Microsoft in 2017 as a corporate vice president, and prior to Microsoft, held multiple leadership roles at T-Mobile and McKinsey & Company. With deep consumer technology experience, Bond sits on the board of the University of South California School of Cinematic Arts and is a vice chair of the board of the Entertainment Software Association. You know, those kind of fit in well, I'd say, right? Bond has a Bachelor of Arts in Economics from Yale University and a Master of Business Administration from Harvard Business School. Quote, Sarah is dynamic and passionate with proven management strength, and her energy and personality are a wonderful fit for our culture. As our management team, members of the board, and the Tyson family got to know Sarah, we immediately felt that she would be a tremendous addition to Tyson Foods, end quote, said Chairman John H. Tyson. Quote, I feel like I'm reading something out of the Outer Worlds right now.
It does sound funny. I go with you.
Quote, we are confident that her unique expertise will help us continue to grow and serve our customers, our team members, and our shareholders, end quote. Quote, Tyson Foods is a world-class food company with iconic brands, and I'm delighted to join the board and support the company as it continues to execute its long-term growth strategy with customers and consumers, end quote, said Bond. The appointment of Bond increases the number of directors on the Tyson Foods board to 16, with 10 independent directors. And that is the statement there, Cog.
Yeah. We
planning an exit strategy here. What's our read of this? Dude, what do we feel about this, like, diverting of attention, man? Like I know I'm not saying she's there every day or even every week, but this kid, how does this not look awful? Am I like out of pocket for this? Am I over assessing? I need corporate cog for this one.
Corporate cog.
What's the feeling here? Maybe I'm acting out, but I just think the headline alone is bad enough. But what are you feeling?
Look, my initial reaction was similar to yours at first. I'm like, yo, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
It sounds funny, right? We have to admit, like, Xbox, President Xbox left for, it sounds like, she left for Tyson Foods, right? It sounds funny. It sounds like, was there a potential exit strategy? Look, I had to do a little research on it, but apparently this is a common thing. I had no idea you were able to do this and be, named to a board of director when another company. And apparently Cogg's like, nah, this is a thing. People do this. And I'm like, really? And then the thing that surprised me is I didn't know she was already board on the ESA. Mm-hmm. I had no idea she was on the board of the ESA. So look, if someone wants to say, because of this, are you diluted attention-wise, or, is your resources, not on solely the vision? I guess, I don't know, what I'm saying? But what I do know, this is not an uncommon practice. So I was surprised by that. So if I had to guess, part of me is just like, okay, there's clearly a bag involved with this, I would assume. So you could have multiple YouTube channels,
yeah, sure,
so to speak. Sure. You know what I'm saying? So who am I to, knock the queen from diversifying her portfolio if that's the case? Like that, provided this is not illegal, provided this is, from what I was told, this is a common practice that people of this level do this all the time. And I was like, okay, but I will admit, Matty, when I first read it,
yeah,
the laughter, it just sounds wild funny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
if we stick with our YouTuber analogy, it's like a YouTuber doing a wild ad or sponsorship. It's like, this has nothing to, I know you don't like that. And I know, but I know that bag had to be nice. Like,
yeah, like it's one of those. It's like, all right, cool. Like you see me with the Depends. Now it's COG. Use code 10% off Iron Lord for Depends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you be like, all right, COG, we get it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know her relationship with Tyson Foods. I don't know if that's been the thing. I don't know. All I will say, I will give you this, Matty, it is the funniest sounding thing.
Yeah.
You have to say it's funny. Like you can't, if you not laughing, if you want to get mad at me for laughing, it sounds funny. Yo, she left Xbox for Tyson Foods. Yo, that's wild.
Yeah, I didn't really like
even though she left Xbox,
but yeah. It is that level of taking the eye off the ball a little bit, especially at such a sensitive time for the brand. Why are we hanging with John Tyson? Like, what are we doing out here, man? Like, we're seeing John Tyson, we're striking up a deal, making a little money. I'm not pocket watching. Do
you fucking watch it?
No. I want, if you got the money in front of you and you think it's a good fit, I am never going to judge that. Take care of your family, of course, but take care of the Xbox brand too, please. Thank you. Yeah,
absolutely. Look, all we can hope is that none of this affects the primary vision, or that it's some, exit strategy. I will give you that, right?
She dips on like a new first party game because she's got to go meet and talk about the fucking
don't do that,
the
man.
Dino Nuggets. The new Dino Nuggets line.
No, the new Nuggets is out. Don't do this, Matty. Listen, shout out to the queen. Get your bag. I ain't mad. You know what I'm saying? We just want to make sure that, everything is still on pocket with Xbox Blades. And that's all. Just the Xbox fan.
This leads to an Xbox collab. Like, let's be real. Like, are we going to see like Xbox branded nuggets? Like, that would kind of work. Like
don't do this, man.
I'm actually serious though. That's the thing. You think I'm pulling your leg?
You out of pocket.
I'm serious. I'm actually serious. You don't think that this could lead to something? A code, a promo? Like, look. Okay, Xbox on the box of the Tyson. I hate, Halo Combat Evolved remake is out, and there's Master Chief on your nuggies. Come on, bro.
We gotta take your mic away. You do it too. Not the Halo Nuggets, man.
Come on.
Not the Halo.
Come on. I haven't had Tyson. Hold on, Tyson.
Oh man, wasn't they battling with who's the dude? Who's the people that make Hungry Man? Was it? Who's them? I want to know. I think they like the competitor to them, right?
Yeah. Oh, dude, they got the all natural breast patties, the tenderloins.
Yeah, with you right now.
I'm just saying. There's Chief.
So she played 3D chess on this one, right?
This is a great, bro. Okay, this is Xbox's attempt at doing what Call of Duty does with Mountain Dew, right? Like, yo, come get your Tyson Foods double XP code inside your nuggets.
I mean,
your wings.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Food, any Tizers, like I'm cooking right now, and I'm like, Sarah, bring me on board. This is easy.
I will say this, that if because of her relationship with that, one could think that, yeah, there could be potential growth opportunities if they choose to pursue. I will give you that and I will leave it alone, but I'm not trying to hear you on the Halo Tyson food nuggets and Master Chief on the box with the code. Nah, so I want my Game Pass subscription in the box.
Come on. Come on, you know, bro, that you're trying to grow Game Pass, right? There's got to be a handshake here somewhere. I don't think I'm that crazy. I didn't think of that before this moment now, but I really do feel 1 free month trial of Game Pass included in your bag of nuggets.
I can't with you, right?
The crispy wings, restaurant style.
I can't. Remember when they used to talk about the Game Pass ad tier that was supposed to be free, the movement for the avatar?
That's the way to do it, you know?
And you gotta watch the Tyson commercial. And you want that Game Pass? Mm-hmm. You just gotta watch this joint right quick. 30-second ad, then you get that free Let me stop. All right.
Dude, I mean, it becomes a streamable thing. That's my last leg of it all. Like, it's a streamable thing. They want to do this free tier, right? Like, okay, honey, I'm home. And, what are our evening plans? And you look at the bag and you see Chief with the assault rifle, right? And like, you see him in his action pose. You're like, I know what we're doing tonight. Grab the other controller. Sarah Bond at work here, man.
This man got the commercial ready.
I think I see what she's cooking. I respect it if this is the play. All right. We got an update on the future of Forza. Sorry. They write on the Forza Motorsport Twitter account, Dear Forza community, we know many of you have questions about what's next for the Forza franchise, and we appreciate the support of our incredible community. We want to assure players that Turn 10 and Playground Games will continue to support Forza Motorsport and Horizon 5. And they provided an update on a post. Since then, there's been a little bit of like a trailer showing what this is including. Forza Bros, I'm sorry, I can't embarrass myself and give it a whirl on like what tracks and cars and new engines y'all got. They are continuing to support it though, but we don't really have an indication based on this or the post or the trailer if there will be any Forza Motorsport after the one that we have since 2013. It seems like the common consensus, as we've already discussed, is Horizon 6 and so on will be the future of the franchise, and that Motorsport likely doesn't have a place in the portfolio given what's happened to Turn 10. But just wanted to provide this update here. Cog, any thoughts on the future of Forza based on what's been laid out here by the team?
Yeah, shout out to, I believe it was either Hazardor or Clobro who put the tweet out who initially kind of started this firestorm, which was kind of like, hey, we haven't heard from the Forza team in so long, when was the last update? And obviously we had the news, obviously with the studio closures at Turn 10 downsizing and layoffs and stuff like that. People are genuinely concerned, right? Regardless to our slander, because we're Horizon guys. Well, at least I'm the Horizon guy. But, Motorsport is one of the iconic Xbox core pillars. Yeah. And even though, like I said, it's lost its luster compared to Horizon over the years, it is, concerning to know, like, what's the future of the brand? And when you don't have updates and then you hit downside, it's only safe for us to assume that you are going to pivot away from this, right? It's only safe for us to say, hey, this is not one of your top money makers or prioritization, verticals, in the company. So yeah, I thought this was fair. Now, granted, they put the statement out. I'm with you. I'm not a Forza bro. I look at these track tour stuff. I'm like, okay, this seems like, we're dropping some cars this week and a couple tracks this week. That's the energy I got. It didn't look like nothing substantial. It was just kind of like, hey, we still alive, right? We still got a couple things for the rest of the year that we're supposed to do, but I don't see like expansion energy, right, or DLC energy. So yeah, it does put into question the future of this franchise, right? And yeah, it would be a huge loss because again, speaking of Peter Moore, the Turn 10 was one of the first.
Yeah,
that was one of your first studios. So yeah. I guess for me, look, I get it. They're the motorsport team, the Forza engine and stuff. I guess for me, I always felt like, man, I just wish they were able to get a chance to develop something other than motorsport.
Yeah.
And I will say I am very concerned because obviously I covered this game. I had the interviews with those guys, great guys. And I did remember hearing the shift of, we couldn't render the number. And then it's kind of like online, like this forever existing game. And being that, it probably didn't do as well as they anticipated. I gotta be honest, just don't feel strong over there.
It does feel a little redundant to keep them both alive.
Yeah.
I want them for the Forza bros. We're pulling for you guys.
Same.
I also, it's one of the moves from Xbox I kind of get.
I got it. I'm just trying to be as empathetic as possible, even though I did understand if you're brass and you like, that ain't it compared to this and what Playground's doing, I kind of get it. You know what I mean? So, what if they would have put out a better product that was more superior than Gran Turismo? Would that have changed? I don't know. I think the market conditions have shifted a little bit, maybe with the simulation hardcore. But simulation got Forza. You come at me. You let me know if a dope, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 Forza Motorsport game dropped. Would that have changed things? And do you still want this thing to continue to exist and to either make a new entry or let it ride off? I'm very curious what the Forza community thinks. I don't think the vibe I get, I don't think they're happy right now.
Yeah. I feel for the Forza bros. I think the problem is they share a genre, right? Like it's not like Halo where it's like, oh, we always dream about the spinoffs, right? Like, oh, we get like Halo Wars when we get like your standard mainline Halo game. Maybe we get like a horror game, right? It's not like that. Like you're not getting like Forza Theft Auto or something like that. Like you have two racing games that have like slightly different names and they do different things. We acknowledge that, but I think for the common consumer, it's not enough of a difference to get both off the ground anymore, at least. And you can thank Horizon 5's pop off for that.
Yeah.
All right. Next up here, we have a leak. The release date for the Xbox Ally. No doubt, I would assume this is going to be Gamescom type of reveal. But this comes from Deal Labs magazine, who's been reliable in the past. And they say the release date is October 16th this year. The quote is, according to our information, the ROG Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X consoles will be officially launched on October 16th, 2025. This date is currently for the European market. And although it is very likely, it remains to be seen whether the other regions will benefit from a simultaneous launch, end quote. So how are we feeling about that, Cog? Good pocket, right? October, busy month for Xbox. Got a little Ninja Gaiden, got a little Outer Worlds 2, Call of Duty season. Good time to launch it, I think.
Yeah, no, look, I'm there regardless to what. Now, the question is going to be, even though the European price may have leaked, I would know what that United States price is going to be. You know what I'm saying? Because get ready for your wallet. But look, I am the target audience for this niche device. Make no mistake, based on the price, it is kind of niche. But I want to see my main thing is I want to see the improvements. I want to see, from what I experienced was so amazing and so decluttered from the junk that I didn't want from previous allies. And now you got this level of performance, and I love the ergonomics on that device. And I was like, oh, I'm feeling this. So if we're not doing a dedicated Xbox handheld for a while, right? I want to see what the learnings are from this. And yeah, man, I'm excited. So look, this is going to be me. I will put it through its paces. I'll be there day one. I'm a little mad though. It wasn't September because I wanted to take this to Tokyo. So I got to have it after, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
Unless you get delivered to you in Tokyo. That's a high risk play.
Nah, we ain't doing that. I ain't messing with them customs, bro. I ain't playing.
No, I feel you.
But yeah, so I'll wait till it comes back. But yeah, good pocket. Just want to see what the price is and if they even attempt any subsidies, which I'm not confident in.
Yeah. All right. We had a shadow drop this past week in the world of Bethesda. It was Heretic. It was Hexen. They've been re-released. And Cog Psycho 100 has the write-in. Howdy Dukes. Believe it or not, QuakeCon happened this past week. Heretic and Hexen is cool, but seems like that was it. Do either of you have thoughts? Is this the most underutilized event in Bethesda's repertoire behind Fallout Day? If this is QuakeCon, where is the Quake kind of day? And so, I mean, look, I'm not a Heretic or Hexen expert, so I don't want to speak to matter of fact on them. I will say I looked at some of the gameplay and seeing the mace in hand and the shield in hand, I went, oh, now I know why they did this with Doom. The Dark Ages, whether it was inspired by that or because I think Doom is done now after Dark Ages, at least for a while, and I think they're going to move into something else, and one of these series could be it. I also think Quake is another fair place to speculate, but I don't know. I kind of look forward to QuakeCon because they're going to shadow drop something. Last year they did like Quake 1+2. Like they always have something. Night Dive is usually involved in all of that. But I don't know if it's really underutilized. It's kind of like, at least when I went in 2018, it's like, bring your own computer, you land game with a ton of people. It's not a place where big, exciting announcements happen. The biggest thing I think QuakeCon ever did was Fallout 4. They had Todd Howard show up there. They did a Gamescom, or no, not Gamescom, sorry. They did a behind closed doors demo preview for the fans. And I don't know if that was the one that linked on a adult film website, we'll say, or not. I don't know if it was that or Gamescom. But Bethesda swore their fans to secrecy, and somehow it upheld. So there were fans like me who didn't get to go or were on the outside and missed out on this gameplay drop and like getting to see Fallout 4. These people couldn't talk about it or anything. Like it was really strange, but that is the biggest thing I remember them doing. And Fallout 4 is obviously huge. Otherwise, though, it's really like whatever's happening next with Doom. But I think Microsoft and the Xbox showcases have kind of absorbed that for their own. And Bethesda stopped doing their own showcases. So it's kind of just the natural sequence of things. But I think QuakeCon still is a place. And hey, it's still the place you can get the best animal charity t-shirts. They always have a new animal charity t-shirt. Y'all have seen my Barkfield shirt. My Remember the President
that's button. Fire.
Bro, they always got a new one. Some year, like this year was a little, I didn't go for it this year, but it's going to a good cause. So I still think about it at least. But they always have those great animal centric t-shirts that twist their favorite franchises into like dog related things. It's really cool. But yeah, it's a little shadow drop. It's available now if you want to check it out. It's on Game Pass. I love me a good boomer shooter, so I want to check these out at some point. But Kyle, any thoughts on this? Any thoughts on QuakeCon? How we feeling?
I'm not the QuakeCon guy, to be honest with you. Like, Quake's not really a franchise that I've kind of like resonated towards, and I never really paid attention much to the event. But after looking at this, I'm not gonna hold you. The more I'm looking at this Heretic Hexen, I'm like, yo, this looks kind of cool. Like, I ain't going, because as a person who grew up with OG Doom, the OG ones, with this art style and this type of engine, and I'm seeing the 4K 120, they got the co-op, I look at kind of like a little fun romp. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to hold you. It's very nostalgic, but modern enough. And I'm like, I'm seeing the mods, and they got magic and hand gestures, and I'm like, shield and mace, and all right. Like,
I didn't know they existed until, I think, when Phil was sporting the Hexen shirt or whatever, and I was like, what is this shit? What is this man talking about here? And I wonder if he had a hand in this.
I would definitely get this a spin. I ain't gonna hold you. And it's in Game Pass. I might have to get this little spin to see what's going on.
Probably short because it's one of those old first-person shooter games.
Yeah. Little good palate cleanse romp, kind of thing. So it looks cool to me.
Agreed. All right, next up, let's talk a bit about Halo. So let's start off with a Halo game on PlayStation. All right, this was found by Grunt API, who's a Halo data miner, and he's accurately leaked info in the past dating back to the multiplayer launch date of Infinite. So we're talking 4 years ago now. Rebs Gaming, though, is another Halo insider, and he worked with Grunt API on kind of uncovering what this is, and they are speculating that this is Project X-K-R, which is that, it started off as that certain affinity Halo title. We're not really sure what it's going to be, but it's going to be multiplayer only. There's also a beta title listed in the API alongside this new game. So it's possible there's a second Halo game in there. Could be like Combat Evolved Remake or something like that, but it's unsure right now what it is. Rebs did speculate in his video, though, that this could just be the beta for Project X-K-R and the full release of it. So I just thought, this started off as, and I don't think many of us really thought it would hold, but this started as Rebs reporting that at the moment in time where he gave us a lot of Halo Combat Evolved information, might not be PlayStation. And we were like, that's weird. Like, you got to commit. At this point, you got to go for it. I know it's going to sting for Xbox fans after all this time, but you're leaving way too much bread on the table, right? But to see Project X-K.E.R, this Halo spin-off title that's been floating around for a while, I'm very curious what this is going to be, and do we get to lay eyes on it anytime soon? Very, very interested in that. But what's your takeaway? Because we have more Halo news to get into after this, but I want to know how we're feeling about this Halo game coming to PlayStation, what you're feeling it is.
Yeah, I mean, look, the rumors from Project X-K.E.R was that certain affinity game. It went from potentially, it could be a battle royale or just could be some different form of a multiplayer. Look, a multiplayer in any form, if they're doing, has to be on PlayStation. It has to be. I told you, the days of this wall guarded with live service, that's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just killing yourself, your base, if you try to lock down a multiplayer game or live service game. In my opinion, you're just not maximizing the game right now. So, yeah, I think that makes perfect sense if it is that. Second Halo game, like Reb said, if it could be just a beta for it, and then the actual release itself, or it could be, that Combat Evolved that we've been hearing about, right?
Yeah.
So look, that domino's coming. So Xbox brethren, get ready. I told people, like, once that happens, then Xbox fans can heal. That's the final one. And I told people it's going to hit you. Remember, talking from a kid from experience, I'm gonna say you kid. I remember the days when Sonic was over there frolicking with Mario on a Nintendo system, and I felt away from it. young Cog was in his feelings, and then I got over it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's what is going to happen with Halo. And it's going to be the multiplayer. It's going to be a mainline Halo in some form. And yeah, I just think that it just makes perfect sense with the new direction and timeline that they're going. And just again, in the year of our Lord 2025, if you make a live service game that is not multi-platform, you are doing it to yourself. You are killing that. The legs on it, DOA. It makes no sense for that. So yeah, that's what I think. And Halo will be better for it, long term. I will say that. Now, brand damage is something else, effect on I get that. And I'm not going to poo-poo that, right? We got to see how that plays. Is it something that they spiral into a thing, or is it something like, okay, I'm over it. It's just like how it was the PC. It really don't affect me. I'm playing where I want to play it. And that's where the data is showing. The data is showing, which proved me wrong, is people are not picking up or buying your console for your game. Doesn't matter who it is. If you're a Nintendo guy, you stay in there, you're not buying PlayStation for the most part. It's fewer of the multi-console owner people. PC guys, they're not buying no console, B. What? Yeah. They got like 120 frames and play with you plebs, what they call them, the master race guys. Yeah. They're not playing with you plebs. They staying over there. Mm-hmm. So it's like what game companies have realized, like, all right, and this is where Microsoft was clairvoyant, is like, they're not coming to us. Put it over there, and now we dominating storefronts, and now we're doing our thing. So that's what's going on.
And you know what unites us all is food.
Tyson
Foods. Come on. Sarah, I know you're listening.
Listen, it is a play, though.
PC gamers and console gamers have one thing in common, and that's loving dipping some chicken nuggets and some honey mustard.
That Tyson Foods. This is an Xbox.
Come on. There we go. I got Cog on board. Come on.
slowly.
In other Halo news, Halo ODST got a little teaser. Helldivers 2 collab. It's happening. Very surprised. So there was a recent trailer for Helldivers 2 at the end. You see ODST and you know where they're going with it. So we know there's a Killzone collab that's happening, and there's now this, like, just really interesting stuff for Helldivers 2. We got the writing here from Sekron. It says, "What's up, Hell Jumpers? Arrowhead dropped a trailer with a tease for ODST at the end, and while I was praying we'll get more than just armor, another thought crossed my mind. Why didn't Halo Infinite get any crossover events? Would it have been too much of a stretch to get armor sets and maps inspired by Gears, Fallout, or Doom? Heck, these games are under Xbox, and it took another publisher for Halo to get any love. Is there something going on, or am I making something out of nothing? I'll be in my drop pod awaiting your reply." Yeah, man, look, like, if this is the start of something great for Halo, I'm all for it. Like, we've been asking for these crossovers. We dreamed of the crossovers. I'm glad that Arrowhead's game for it. I'm glad PlayStation's game for it. I'm glad Xbox is game for it. This is what we need more of, because both sides have such cool IP. It's going to be awesome to have a game where you can have a Hellgas soldier and Chief, or an ODST soldier. I just hope with ODST, because everyone said that like Halo was and it needs its own Helldivers game. I hope that this is like an expansion, like bring the flood in, do the armor sets, like go, like this can't, in my opinion, this can't be done with a half measure. You can't just be like, here's the cosmetic. You got to do the map, the enemies, like turn it into a mini Halo game, bro. That would be so fucking, it would be perfect. It would be perfect, man. I would love that. As someone who thought Helldivers 2 is great, but didn't really hang around long term with it, God, this would pull me back in, man. Woo! Absolutely would totally. Like I had a friend text me, he's like, you really in on this? I was like, bro, I would be on that shit immediately if it was like an actual, like they brought in the Flood, they brought in the Covenant, like they brought in all, like they made it Halo. And it makes too much sense. They should totally go for it. I hope they do. Cog, your thoughts?
I am so with you. I think you're on to something, man. I think you're on to something, man. Look, once Sony gave the green light and the information came out that Sony okayed this, and I just thought it was an arrowhead push. But bro, I'm not gonna hold you. They just gave me Helldivers. I'm like, bro, great. Let's see how Xbox it does on Xbox. Let's see how the community. It seems like an Xbox style game. But now you got the nerve to drop a tease for ODST at the end with the drop, bro.
Yeah.
Now the possibilities are endless, and this is where now I got to call flag on the field on PlayStation and Xbox. Y'all not slick, and let me tell you why you're not slick. Because Phil, you ain't slick. Because remember when this game was exclusive, he randomly out of nowhere, this game should be on Xbox. Remember that comment?
Mm-hmm.
Randomly out of nowhere, and this is not your first party IP, bro. They say you don't own that. You see what I'm saying? So when I seen that, and then I got a call flag on the field on PlayStation. How you dropping this the same day as Gears Reloaded coming to your system? Y'all running a play. I'm now in full conspiracy bag. Y'all running a play. That sexting at night, y'all going back and forth. You do this for me, I do that for you. Now Halo, man, we've been trying to get Halo in games for years. Now the ODST, bro. If they do this, listen, this could be something.
Yeah.
I think they know. And here's the thing: that game was super popular. It does well. You got all these updates they're about to do to it, right? All this content. You gauge it. If you get great numbers, that calls for an expansion. That call, and you clearly doing something.
Yeah.
Right. So hopefully, to your point, it's more than skins. Hopefully, it is a true full on, bro. Let's go. This is the injection. Now you do this, the people to play. You get everybody talk about Helldivers. You get everybody talk about ODST. And next year you got the Halo, bro. It's an alley-oop ready to go. You got the Halo anniversary 25th for Xbox. Bro, the play is there. So. Yeah, be on the lookout. I think these two are up to something. They've been sexted all this time. There's something going on, man. That's how I'm playing it.
All right. Well, next up, Cog, let's talk about one of your, I don't know if they're still your favorites, but maybe they're up there. It's kind of like me, like a lingering adoration, BioWare. This is Bungie we're talking about here. We got the article from Pure Xbox, and they write, PlayStation Maker has given us a rough timeline on when we can expect a revised version of Marathon to launch. Sony CFO Lin Tao says they expect the launch to happen within the fiscal year, which ends March 31st, 2026. But don't take that release date to the bank. They say, having said that, that is not a commitment. No official announcement has been given yet. You can expect more concrete launch information to come in the autumn. But before we get there, the Sony CFO made some pretty interesting comments about the general future of Bungie. The former Xbox developer is, quote, becoming more part of PlayStation Studios, end quote, rather than its initial, quote, very independent environment, end quote. So we'll see what that means for future releases. Shout out to Pure Xbox for the write-up here. But Cog, the leash is tightening. Good news, bad news. I don't know. I feel like we don't want to cheer on corporate getting involved, but I feel like Bungie seems to be one of those companies that when reeled in, they have functioned better, but you're more experienced than the quarter-to-quarter phases of being a Bungie fan. So what say you about PlayStation saying, oh no, they're part of the family now. They're not out living on their own. They live under this roof now. What's our thoughts here?
Yeah, they stamped that logo on their head. You've been out of control for too long. They did it to themselves. You want to talk about mismanagement? poor expectations from a leadership standpoint. Be clear, developers there are amazing and have always had the player interest for the most part in hand. The issue has always come to the stakeholders at the top and just running Bungie poorly. And it didn't matter which shooter they had, it was always an issue. At the time, I used to blame Activision when they were under, oh man, Activision used to run them. They leave Activision and some of the more worse and egregious practices would continue from Bungie. It's just a constant battle with this game. It's like the developers fighting for the good of the community versus the stakeholders who just don't have a clue. And then they overpromised Sony. They fleeced PlayStation on this. And now PlayStation has had enough. That is enough, bro. Like, you have not hit any of your quarterly targets. You are literally the lemon of PlayStation Studios in the building. Bro, we got to rein you in. And then we just talked about giving people, gamers, what they want. Mm-hmm. Nobody wanted Marathon. I just got to keep it a buck. No one was sitting there, yo, bro, you know what the next thing we got this money maker. We coming off Witch Queen, Final Shape. We got this money maker. You know what's next? Random side game. Yeah. Like, nobody
giving the fans what they want conversation we had at the top of the show, right? Like, what are we doing? Destiny 3, right? Like, obviously,
like, again, this is where their eyes got too big. They took their you went away and took support from your moneymaker at the time of your peak to now do all these extra. You know what? The only thing that's actually beneficial right now, I go for it. Destiny Rising from NetEase. People are saying that's more lit than Destiny right now. Bro, it's that bad.
Yeah,
it's that bad. These player counts.
I mean, NetEase is great, but yeah, that's pretty brutal. You don't want for Bungie at least,
Yeah. So look, listen, I have low acquisition, so to speak. But yeah, this might be what I got a campaign again, because it's like, bro, they have proven they cannot run themselves.
Yeah.
We have enough evidence. If it wasn't Xbox, it was Activision, it's them by themselves. We have 3 scenarios. So people who are saying your acquisition is bad, we have 3 scenarios where they have been left to their own devices or had other people running them, and Activision couldn't wait to throw them out the building. Remember that? They was like, bro, y'all a disappointment to us, son. And like, nah, y'all got to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Xbox, they left. It was a problem. Then they buy themselves. They still running predatory practices at the top level. That is them. So yeah, they need to be ready. Sony needs to control. And hopefully, what I'm just hoping is that it's going to be a BioWare situation on some level where, was it the ship of Thesis? Are you truly Bungie at this point? Fair. But we have to say that at least what I'm hoping is Sony can get rid of the Hiroki Totoki. I do like the way you move, man. When you see people wait before, but you ain't got no problem getting them out. I don't care what you say, Jim Ryan and them. I don't care what you say. That Hiroki has something to do with it. You gonna shut up. You gonna take this exit with them failed live service games, and you gonna get up out of here. But they're going to go through this Bungie leadership. And what's your man, Lin Tao? That's the dude. He said, yeah, we expect the fact that he said, yeah, we expect Marathon to launch, but no official commitment has been given. You might not even launch, bro. You're about to get reined in, and maybe, just maybe, this is for the better for you. You need to be controlled, and hopefully PlayStation sensibilities and quality measurements
based on based on what we read, like it's just leadership needs someone to answer to, because when they're left to answer to themselves, it's not like the common worker. That's never been the problem with Bungie. It's just like they need someone to answer to hold them accountable. Bro, at least that's how my idealistic ass is looking at it. It's like you need to be held accountable, bro. Otherwise, you'll be buying more cars.
I was just about to say that. Bro, if you want a good read of where Bungie's at, I highly advise y'all go to Dirty Effin' Hippie Twitter account. Former community manager but she has no problem telling you what it is over there since she's been gone. Like, when someone's free and they can really speak. Like, yeah. She been put. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping. And yeah, I still think that the multi-platform approach will live all out. Listen, if this gets me closer to a Destiny 3 and they refocus it back, that's all I care about. No disrespect to the Marathon developers. I know you're trying. You've been put in a rough situation. That ain't your fault. You were told to do whatever. I get that. All the community wants is Destiny 3 and a new engine, and start working on that. Tell us you're doing that. Because all this other stuff y'all doing, we not really there. And we'll see what happens with Marathon. I don't have a lot of confidence in.
Yeah.
And y'all stealing, so that's another thing.
Yeah, agreed. Especially if they can't commit to a date, I think the rot runs deeper. Every time we'll see what the update is this month, I guess. But, I just feel with so little information at this point, I think they're like, this is everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Be right back.
No problem. The game that's getting a lot of updates is S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2. They just released a massive roadmap. It's for 2025, and there's everything from an engine update. They're updating to Unreal Engine 5.5.4 for optimization. They're adding in various night vision devices. They're adding in binoculars. There are A-Life updates where there are more A-Life zone technical improvements. They said NPCs can't see in the dark as good as before without night vision goggles, NPC combat updates, mutants and combat updates and balance updates. There's new anomalies. There's new missions from old and new friends, a new weather scenario, a master difficulty, extended day-night cycle, stash loot rework, stamina and energy drink rework, immersive display mode, player equipment UI update, like protection stats they mentioned, more UI updates and improvements, local save backup restoration, a zone kit, which is including audio modding, narrative tools, so you can create your own stories. And of course, there's the Legends of the Zone enhanced editions coming to PS5 as well. So they said that this is all targeted for 2025. And they're just going in on this game for the PS5 release, no doubt. But this is a game that I still haven't touched because it just keeps getting significant updates. And I want to play it and I want to beat it, but I feel like maybe this December might be a good time to dive in, especially December will be Fallout season. Fallout and S.T.A.L.K.E.R kind of have a little bit of a, similar style, I would say. Even though S.T.A.L.K.E.R is very much different. It still reminds you of Fallout. And so this massive roadmap is nice. It's exciting, but now I'm kicking it down the road. I'm like, all right, I'll play you later, I guess. Cog, your thoughts on the big roadmap for S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2?
Yeah, I'm in the same pocket, man. This is one that we need to get our man Locke on. Man, Locke is such a stalker. I love talking to Locke.
He was annoyed by this news. He
really?
Yeah, I talked to him about it today.
What did he say?
I asked him, I said to him, well, I guess I'm waiting till December to play. And he said, I can't stand Cyberpunk, even though he loves the game. He's like, he feels the door kind of opened for games to behave like Cyberpunk, even if it's understandable with something like S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, where Bethesda puts out a game and they're like, we'll finish it later. This one, granted, understandable because it got significantly delayed, but
right.
We'll finish it later. There's a lot of finish it later. So he kind of was like, man, it's just a bummer. So I think his response to it makes sense, but
I get it. I guess for me, I get what he's saying. I'm never going to just, go against Locke. Locke is the stalker guy. I guess for me, the only reason I give a slight pass is obviously the human conditions, of how the game, what they were going through as a studio. But to his point, I get where it's like, you're there day one, you didn't benefit how someone would benefit later that's going to get all this. And the stuff that is impressive to me, to be honest, is it A-Life the game changer? Isn't that's the system that is so
that's already
realistic.
been added in. Now they're updating it again. So
yeah, bro, I'm looking at it technical improvements, the combat updates. That to me is what makes the world so lived in and so dope. And then I've never seen they doing an engine update. Well, I'm definitely waiting for that. I mean, ain't no sense for me to go play on there now. And you gonna tell me you gonna give me Unreal Engine 5 update for optimization? The key word any gamer wants to hear. Oh, it's going to run better and look better potentially. Oh yeah, I'll wait. Let me know when you're out there. And you know what I will do though? If when they do, obviously they gear it up for PS5, PS5 Pro for sure. This would be a perfect game I want to throw on Ally. I need to. You just reminded me. I got to throw S.T.A.L.K.E.R on my Ally so that when that update's ready, I want that to be my go back and forth game so I could knock that out. I got a couple games like that. I got that, Death Stranded, and Final Fantasy 16. Actually, no, Final Fantasy is just so horrible. Or be a PC port. It is. I can't even. The game's unplayable.
Oh.
That's why my Final Fantasy 16 play fell off a cliff because I would have knocked it out on the ally. Bro, the cutscene's doing like 10, 15 frames per second with stutters.
That'll kill it. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, hell. And I'm looking at the PC reviews, even the Steam version, the Xbox. Horror squared. No.
This.
Sorry to sidetrack. Yeah, I was meaning to give 16 some smoke. Now that, you know what I'm saying, I'm over the Xbox, it's supposedly a play anywhere game. And I thought, okay, well, maybe it's the Xbox thing that's having the issue. I went over to the Steam page and it was like, do not recommend buying this game at all. Damn. So yeah, with performance and stuff like that, I'll be waiting for S.T.A.L.K.E.R.
Yeah.
And this comes out and then I'll try to grab that.
One of these reviews for Final Fantasy 16 on Steam is hilarious. It says 7.5 out of 10, low key boring. I still put 90 hours in though.
they go in there.
I don't know what you take away from that.
I mean, look, it's a different style of game. But you know me, I'm just a sucker for the Lord of the Rings and the dominance and all that stuff. But I just want to get through it. I want to beat it. I want to support, but the game is unplayable on PC.
Yeah. This next one here, personally exciting for me, Cog. There's been radio silence on the Lego game front for a while, but now we may have an idea as to why. According to the Lego Game News Twitter account, the next title from TT Games will be a Skywalker Saga style Lego Batman game. It could potentially be revealed at Gamescom opening night live later this month. So yeah, man, I love my Lego games, right? Ever since I was a kid, since Lego Star Wars 1, I have been there. I haven't played every single one because some of the franchises I didn't have a deep connection with. I'm a late blooming Indiana Jones fan, so I wasn't in love with I didn't play the second one, for example. I played the first one because it came packed in with my 360. Yeah, Jurassic Park, not in love with. So it's I have it in my collection. Pirates of the Caribbean, late bloomer on that. I still got to watch the third movie. So I'm behind on that. So some of them I don't have attachment to, but Lego games, solid. If it's not broken, don't fix it, right? Skywalker Saga was in development for 5 years, comes out. And it's I like it a lot. Ultimately, I like it a lot, but it's a lot of different things. They create this whole complex combat system with it, and it's cool combo in a Lego game, but it's not fully utilized to its max potential. And it's also kind of like a Lego game. So do I really need to beat the living shit out of everything in this game? Not really. And also with its scope, some sagas or trilogies rather were better than others. The prequels, which I thought would be the best part of the game, were really bad in Skywalker Saga. But the original trilogy was good. The sequel stuff was hit or miss. It was a very mixed bag, ultimately. So I hope with Lego Batman, if they're going to do this, that they've learned valuable lessons from Skywalker Saga, right? I'm very keen to see what they do, though, because I've been eagerly anticipating that next Lego game. These games are, dude, I love 100%ing a good Lego game. Just a great time. So very keen to see what they're cooking. I hope we do get that reveal at opening night live. Cog, I mean, look, man, I know this is a creepy Cog at the park in his van type of moment, but I'd love to know if this is, you got love for the bat, right? Are you going to play as him in Lego form? Come on. This is too much
to you, gentlemen.
Come on.
I just can't do it, man. It's fun. I think it works as a cartoon for me. I'm okay, you make a little funny jokes and it's cutesy. I get it. I don't know. The only time I got to call fraud on myself is where I bet the knee when I saw Marvel. What is it? Marvel Heroes Lego.
Heroes. Yeah.
And I was
so good though. Yeah.
I was they got flying in the game and they got Silver Surfer in the game. And it's one of the, Silver Surfer is not in a lot of video games.
No.
At all.
No.
There was an old NES.
Did you talk about the new Fantastic Four? Did you see that?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm going to get canceled, so I better shut up. I'm going to get canceled.
Not your Silver Surfer.
Yeah, look, man. Look, I will just say this respectfully. The reason why I'm hurt, look, that Shallow Ball existed, no respect, right? That was a variant, but a very uncommon variant 2-issue story. I mean, I should say that too, but a very non-popular story that wasn't around in the Silver Surfer lore. What hurts me is that as a person who loved the character, and all I got was that crappy Fantastic Four, Fox One, Rise of the Silver Surfer, that they literally blew all the budget on just Silver Surfer, and the rest of the movie was not good. And don't get me wrong, still a great Silver Surfer. If you like the character, how he was depicted in the movie, great. Minus a few things. But I was just like, okay, I'm going to get the MCU to do my man. And I waited so long for and I remember having
man.
Bro, and then it's just, again, the reason why it hurts me, again, as a fan of the character, is just that one of the greatest stories is his origin and how he went from a villain to good and learned humanity for saving a race. I will never get that story because of what they chose to do. And then obviously with Shala, they didn't even mention he had a husband. I don't even see Norrin. So and then I was told, Cog, shut up. They're going to destroy that universe. Your man's coming. Did you watch the end of this movie? This universe is not going anywhere so far. So I am doubly angry, right? So I'm like, okay, now I might never, and this might be it. So what it hurts is I waited all this long for Disney to acquire Fox, for this to be half, and I'm never getting Nori. That's what it feels like. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I get it. But that's what I just feel it's good. I'm going to be 60. Baby. By the time a Norman, and now I don't know if you noticed the way Marvel is moving, they're cutting the budgets. They're not doing all these shows. So what that shows me now, you're doubling down on Spider-Man. You're nervous. These movies ain't popping the way they're popping.
Yeah, Fantastic Four didn't do that well compared to like
Superman.
Superman did really well. So yeah, it's
started off strong, fell off a cliff. So you keep not servicing the hardcore. I'm going to get canceled for this. This is what's going to happen to you, right? So what I'm worried about is because now they're in money making mode and all they care about is the big guy. Remember, I got to be real. As much as Surfer's obscure, they're not doing my, I just got to be, I just don't feel like I'm heartbroken
for that.
Yeah, I'm heartbroken. So now anything he's in, this is where I'm going full circle. Anything he's in, like the Marvel Heroes Lego, I bought it because he's in that. Yeah. NES and old Silver Surfer, hard as hell game, bought that. The greatest probably of that he's been in. No, it's actually 2 games. It's Marvel Ultimate Alliance. He was a DLC character. I still can't get the achievement because I broke the code and I put it in because I wanted him instantly. And I will never get that. It hurts that I don't get the Surf's Up achievement on Xbox, but hey, there's a price we had to pay. I wanted Surfer that bad. But the greatest Silver Surfer in any video game, and this one also burks my heart, the now defunct Marvel Heroes.
Oh my God, I forgot about that game.
Game was on PC. It was a masterpiece Diablo style Marvel game. All the characters, they even had the multiple suits for every character. It was
too late. I remember discovering it and it was like shutting down 2 months later.
2 months because some CEO did some nefarious things behind the scene and they shut the whole studio had to pay. They turned it offline. Now, Greg, shout out to my man Kai Boss. I heard there's a hack running around. I'm doing it. Yeah, somebody got it up and running. There's a community. I'm gonna find. Yeah. I'll get you. We'll talk offline. But shout out to my man Kai Boss. But that was the greatest Marvel game and Silver Surfer I have ever seen in a video game with his power cosmic, all his abilities, all his suits. They even had the Silver Savage. They had the Keepers. Oh my God, it was amazing. So that is the play. So basically what I'm getting at is that, I got to support my man any way I can get him because I'm never going to get him anywhere else.
There are people who found, there's content being made for the emulator.
Yes, bro. It's lit. I'm about to do that joint soon. Yeah. Shout out to Kai Save me. That's the greatest. And shout out to my man, Jay Shockblast, who used to do comments, content on it. And me and him became real cool over the years. And I mentioned it on a podcast. He was like, bro, me and you besties. What you know about that game? I said, yeah, bro. It was so depressing when they shut it down, Matty. Mm-hmm. It took me a year to delete it off my hard drive.
I held on to it too. That's so weird. I held on to it too, bro. I kept it on my PlayStation 4 dashboard for ages.
Bro.
I just couldn't get rid of it.
I couldn't get rid of it just for the hope that it got resolved. That it got,
and
and this is where you're right. This is where game preservation does come back. And I got to give Ben a knee on that one. I would have loved game preservation law at that point, or whatever in place for that game. That was the greatest. Marvel Heroes. That,
and I think of Battleborn. Those are 2 multiplayer style games that I just wish were hanging around. Battleborn, funny enough, also came back a similar way, like fan servers or something like that. But man,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now
I gotta look into this. I'm very interested.
Yeah. About to see if I can get in on that raw gala. PC, and I'm good to go with my Marvel Heroes.
Offline
baby.
play. I mean, that's the thing that's why I'm excited for Octopath Traveler 0. I love when, okay, you want to do your whole mobile or your whole multiplayer push, but when it fails or when it's done, repackage that thing and sell it to me. Like, I will buy it when it's like Marvel Heroes Omega. If you resold that as an offline with peer-to-peer co-op like campaign, I would, oh my God, dude, I can't even put into words. This was for, I think, Cog and I, the continuation of Ultimate Alliance that we really never got. Right.
That's the spiritual successor. Yeah. That's the true grown man spiritual successor to it.
Yeah. Because like Ultimate Alliance 3 is good, but it was very different. Very different. This was more like we're back to the RPG roots and playing as characters and dialogue selection and comic book fan service. Yeah, that game is criminally slept on. I would love to see it come back in an official way, but this isn't a bad option.
Yeah.
All right, last bit of news. We'll get into what we're playing. Crimson Desert, one of my most anticipated games of the year, has been delayed to Q1 2026. The reason is as follows, quote, "The launch of Crimson Desert, our first large-scale AAA console game, has been unavoidably delayed by 1 quarter from the previously announced schedule. This is due to longer than expected timelines arising from schedule coordination and collaborations with multiple partners for offline distribution, voiceovers, console certification, and other launch preparations. We sincerely apologize for not being able to meet the originally promised 4th quarter launch schedule. Please kindly understand that this is a strategic decision aimed at ensuring success on a meaningful scale," end quote. So if we're to believe them, no mention of the product quality, but more like, hey, business. Things beyond our reach. So, Cog, any thoughts on the delay? I'm bummed out, but I'm willing to wait for this one. I think it looks really good.
Yeah, I'm willing to wait for this one too. Shout out to our good friends over at Sacred Symbols, Dustin, and obviously Brad from Summon Sign. We were at Summer Games Fest together, and those are one of the ones we kind of stopped by. Each of us, we had a lot to say. We like, yo, did you see that Crimson Desert, bro? That joint looking crazy. Yeah. So yeah, like on that one, it's so ambitious. It looks so amazing. I understand. Take your time.
Yeah,
we'll wait for you. Plus, we got more than enough to play. We will be fine for this year. Yes.
All right. After a lot of news, Cog, it's time to talk about what games we are playing. And outside of really like one of them, we're looking like a bunch of casuals out here, Cog. A lot of big brand out here. Where would you like to begin, sir?
Yeah, I think let's start with our shared one, which is the Battlefield 6 open beta. Last week I was in the trenches, and man, yeah, it is impressive. I cannot stop playing this game. Engineer class, stand up,
so good. Yeah,
it's so good.
It's just impossibly good. Like the SMG's got crazy range, low recoil. It's really good.
Love the SMG. Little nitpick. I would like to. I feel like the UI is a little clunky for me for some reason. Like just for as far as like pre-game, not in-game. Pre-game, a little clunky. Like I was just like, man, like how do I get the party going and stuff like that?
I agree.
And leaving the party. I think what it is my main nitpick is like I like when like games. When games have progression and you're unlocking tons of attachments because you win a match, you're like this, unlock that. So like at the end, I'm like, I'm processing, okay, where is this stuff? And I like when games give me that visual flashy indicator. Hey, check this gun, check attachment C, because that's where the new thing that you just unlocked is. And I feel like maybe it's just a me issue. I'm struggling to find where the things that I've unlocked at sometimes. But again, minor nitpick. This is a beta. It's a little pet peeve about it. But anyway, look, game, phenomenal. That map, what is it? I kept getting that one map where it's like, I don't say it's like a desert town, but it's kind of like,
Cairo? No, I don't think it's, is it?
I think it's a
I
very
didn't memorize any of the map names. Now you
brownish, hewish. You got interior, exterior. You can get on the roofs. Dudes be camping on the roof, getting crazy in that joint, and they be driving their tanks.
It's a city, right? Is what
you're it's a city.
Like the big streets on the outside. Yes. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name of it. Yeah,
I keep getting that map for whatever reason. I don't get none of it. I keep getting that map, but whatever. Really enjoyed it. Was an engineer. my job was, okay, we're doing our conquest mode, but my job is I would really support my tank brethren. So I let them push forward, and I'm in the back, I'm repairing, and then I've got my scouts snitching on where the other tanks are. So they'll give me the laser guided, okay, that's where he at. Boom, I'll now veer off to the side, try to flank. And we are dominating conquest points with some of our vehicles. And then, my man's in trouble. All right, cool. Let me patch you up right quick. So that was that. I flirted with support. Support is really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, that drags somebody up.
Yeah.
Make them heal. Now, I got to come at the beta people. Bro, y'all not healing nobody for nothing. Dudes be right next to them like, yo, help, bro, help, I'm down. Yeah. Dudes just walk past you. They worry about their KD. And I'm like, come on, bro. Yeah. This is Battlefield. This is a cold-blooded
world of a free-to-play beta,
Yes. Like, this is objective based.
Test it out. See, you'll be fine. It's not permanent. You're fine.
Facts. I was doing that, but man, I thought it was impressive. I really, really enjoyed it. Then obviously we saw the Steam numbers come back, and god damn, they broke Call of Duty's record on the joint. They, now we do have to address one elephant in the room, but the cheating situation.
We got to write it about that.
We do got. Let's talk about it.
JP writes, hey, Dukes, Battlefield 6's anti-cheat software supposedly prevented 330,000 cheating attempts during the open beta period. I'm not sure how this compares relatively to other popular online shooters, but to me, this seems out of control. I know cheating in online matches is nothing new, but do you think we'll ever hit a nexus where cheating becomes so rampant in online spaces that it will shift gamers' preferences away from competitive online gaming? Would love to hear your own experiences if you ever dealt with cheaters online. Thanks as always, and have a great day. My experience with this, just to jump ahead, bro.
Let's go.
Is like, it's number one, it's straight degen loser behavior. Let's be very frank about it. I've never met anybody in my life who has cheated in an online video game. And look, man, like, I think that says all that needs to be said. I can imagine most people listening are like, yeah, I don't know someone who's like gone out of their way to find software online to absolutely fuck up a multiplayer game. Last time I dealt with it was Battlefront 2, funny enough, another DICE game. And it was like during this resurgence period this year, and I jumped in and some dude had a hack that brought everyone from their spawn into the enemy spawn, and it was like fish in a barrel. Like he kept shooting 20 of us at a time.
That's crazy.
It was so whack. And what never bothers me is like, oh, this person's cheating. It's, wow, you went to the length of learning how to cheat in this game and downloading software and doing whatever it took to figure this out. Like it's that, but also so many people trying.
I know.
330K.
330.
Like usually I see it in the dead games, the unsupported games, but active games, you're like, this new beta. I'm going to download this free beta and try to find out how to work people. I mean, I guess for DICE, like great stress test of our systems, but you sound like you had experiences with this. So break it down to me. I didn't know this was a thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing. And I'll just like, a couple of times I'm like, nah, bro, you ain't hit that. Like, I'm not buying that. This, you automatically where we're at the right time. And I'm like, nah, I'm sorry.
It's that skepticism. You don't know if you're actually getting clowned on or if it's actually someone just right place, right time.
Exactly. But it just keeps consistently happening. I'm just like, not feeling it. So, well, good stress test that they're able to, identify that this is still going on. But I will say that I will give them credit, though. Thank God they got the unchecked cross-play if you choose from PC. And I thought that's what games need to adopt, because I feel like the Sea of Thieves community went through this for a while. Like, bro, like, listen, I'm all about cross-play and everybody playing together. We all play, we win. But there's a certain community. Sorry, Master Race. I got to come for y'all that this is what y'all known for. Y'all known for drivers tweaking and twerking and also cheating. So when I see this kind of stuff, and if it becomes rampant, then I'm going to not choose to associate with you, kind of thing. But look, it's a good stress test for now, but the game is phenomenal. I thought it looked phenomenal. It played phenomenal. Just, what it is? You just forget, man. 64, that scale of war. This is war, baby. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just love it. It made me fall back in love with Battlefield. Now, granted, they got a launch. Okay. I thought the matches were getting in pretty fast, though. I didn't feel like I was waiting a long time with queue times. Someone told me, like, when it opened up, It was like the number that they had to wait. It was like a crazy number, but then they cycled in and they got in. But I like it the way the weapons feel. The sound design is amazing. I'm noticing like smoke grenades are more effective for me to like traverse.
I'm using those a lot in one of my matches, and
get from cover to cover, because these dudes will camp on you, bro. They ain't playing no games. Like they are guarding these points with their life, and I just love it. And yeah, man, I like the last thing I like is that I feel there's so much synergy between the classes. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously, like I said, support. He does that. He does does the help stuff. You got the assault guy with the 2 weapons, stuff like that. I can repair the beacon and stuff. Like it's just a lot of. I love the gadgets and the interplay of Battlefield. I think that it's really cool. And this is just a snippet. So we still didn't see all the modes. We still haven't seen this escalation mode they're talking about. But I just thought it felt so good, man. And I was addicted. I felt it. I was like, damn, it's got me. What I'm thinking about is the damn demo again. Let's squad up again with the homies. And then, a couple of LSM fans hit me up like, bro, when y'all starting the clan, like they ready. Like I'm like, okay, I see what it is. I'm just happy for my boy Sinister. I got to shout him out. He was the one responsible from making me a Call of Duty fanboy and an ignorant, I don't want to play anything but Call of Duty guy until he threatened me like, bro, you better play this Battlefield one time. I'm talking about like 3 and 4 back in the day. He's like, I'm telling you. I'm like, I'll get to it when I get to it. And I remember when I first played and I fell in love with Battlefield, I was like, oh, yo, this is it. This is it. That's how this felt.
Real challenger to Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's what it felt. But how was your experience? What was going on with you?
Man, I walked away a little mixed, I will be honest. Yeah, I walked away a little mixed. Like, it's a great game, no doubt. I'm excited for it. But the mixture came in with some things that I felt were oversold. One was destruction. I don't know if I just had a particularly, like, I was getting put on maps where there was less destruction than others, but am I spoiled by the finals? Like, I thought there were some parts where I shot a grenade launcher to like create my own path or take some cover out, and it wouldn't take out that cover, but then other times it would. Like, certain buildings are meant to withstand anything, are designed to take damage. And I don't know. Again, the reason I say like a mixed is because like maybe I need to learn I call it the visual language, right? Like you look at certain things, like that's supposed to break, that isn't supposed to, and maybe there's little things I didn't pick up on that would indicate those things to me. So I'm kind of leaving the jury still out on that. But I will say that one was a little, man, like I thought this would be pushed a little bit further. But, again, I may have just had a bad experience with it. It didn't really derail my hype, but it was a little bit of a pin in the balloon. Gotcha.
Quick question before you move on.
Sure.
Because I didn't see the other maps. So was there other maps available besides that one?
Yeah, there was a couple. There was, man, I'm going to have to use visual description. I don't remember that. I only know one is called Cairo, but I don't know which that is. There's the one we just talked about, right? Like the kind of arid region. You have 2 streets on the sides. There's buildings in the middle. There is one that's like kind of on a slope, and it almost looks like a mining facility. Like okay. I don't know if I'm describing it well, but I sure it's mountainous. It's very mountainous, and it kind of goes uphill. And there's like 3 of the domination points are like up on hills, and they're kind of looking down on the others. So it's a map control. That one stands out. And then I played whatever the mode is that turns into infantry only, so no vehicles, and it basically turns into COD. That's where my second mixed feeling comes in. I noticed one of my goats, Jake Baldino, felt the same way. I watched this video, right? He did a preview of it. He got hands on with it. And so I watched this video, and I remember him saying like, yeah, the time to kill was like very quick. And I went, come on, Jake, like, that's fine. I think Jake was cooking. I'm not going to lie, bro. I think you kill people fast in this game.
Yes.
From any distance. It's very Call of Duty. And I feel like we're walking this line of like, it's very Battlefield, but it's also very open for the COD fan coming over to Battlefield.
Yes.
By Drift. We're not having like Bad Company 2, like I got to pop you 7 times to drop you to 0. It's like 1, 2, 3, you're dead. All right. Like, and again, not bad. Just, I got to get used to that. Long term, I got to know how that feels. That shotgun that the assault class has.
Busted.
Dude, this thing is a sniper rifle. I was popping dudes in the full alleyway, like just all the way on the opposite side. I was like, oh, wow, that was easy. One shot in them. Yeah, like it. You know what it reminds me of?
What?
what were they called in Modern Warfare 2? The Model 1887s or whatever it was.
Oh, yo, I remember those.
Where they just had a insane range. Reminds me of that so much. Those were so broken. Maybe not to that extreme where you could like with the models, you could one and while you're reloading the other two and then just keep firing them off. Great times. I remember running around and search and destroy with those, having a blast. But Battlefield, it's 2025. Let's not have another one of those moments. So those are the two like iffy parts for me. Long-term things you got to feel out like, is the map good or not? Like there are certain maps that I'm going to love, certain ones I'm not going to like. But the sound design, the visuals, I gave Little Man a test run with this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, S action. Yeah. So the other problem I had was I got into the beta. I'm like, I'm going to play this on PC. It's a dice game.
Right. They
require secure boot on your PC. You have to update your BIOS if you don't have it enabled.
Wow.
I do not have that. Now, I was going to, but my editor for my Mr. Matty channel, Dan, did this. It fried his PC. Now, this isn't just like poor Dan. I started looking into this. The video on how to get secure boot going from EA, mass downvoted. People were like, by the way, my screen is still black. A lot of people's rigs got fucked over this beta. I think it's not. I haven't seen many people talking about it.
Okay.
But it's at least anecdotal. It's happening to enough people for me to recognize it. So I, given this is my livelihood, was not about to tamper with the goods.
Facts.
So I go and I'm like, I'm going to play on my Series X.
Yes.
For some reason, my EA account is linked to my wife's gamer tag.
Oh, my friend had this issue. Yeah.
I don't know how this happened, but I made a mistake somewhere when I signed into something. So naturally, I'm like, okay, unlink that joint, go to this one. EA's like, if you unlink this, only one gamer tag may ever be linked to it. So once you unlink, you're done.
Wow.
So now I'm like, so I literally can't play on consoles for this open beta unless I either risk my PC, which I'm not willing to do, or play on my Series S. So I played it on Little Man.
Wait, back up. So Series S, so the account was linked to wifey joy, so you couldn't play on Series X.
But she's not on my Series X. She has her own system.
Got it. Okay, got it.
I don't have her account on my Series X. Sorry, I should have specified that.
Yes.
She's got her own, the Series S. So I was playing. I gotta look up these specs. What is the Battlefield? What is the resolution?
The spec? What we really doing out here?
Battlefield 6.
What was the resolution looking like?
S. We'll see type of stats. I don't know what will come up here. It's gonna target 60 frames, and I'm trying to figure out what the 1080p dynamic. Yeah, definitely looked a little 1080 energy. I was playing it on my projector, and so the image was just like this, nice and stretched out. But I gotta say, man, I'm impressed with Little Man. He worked his way through this one.
Okay.
Stutter very lightly every once in a blue moon. Like you notice it, you're like, But overall, I thought this was going to be a nuclear experience for me. Like I really thought my Series S is going to melt. I'm about to explain to my wife why we're buying a new one. And that's going to be that. But I was impressed that it ran well and I played on it pretty well. And there was no like, I feel I'm at a disadvantage here. It looked good. It looked, I mean, granted, because of the dynamic resolution, it looked like a heavily sharpened image. Like, when you in Photoshop, you're like, sharpen. It had a little bit of that look to it. Right. Definitely not the ideal way to play, but it ran well and it played good. I was surprised.
All right, little bit.
Yeah. Then when it went to full open beta, I played it on PlayStation 5 and it ran and looked better there. Now, the problem I had there is I am so washed at controller shooters, man. If it's not the Xbox controller.
Yeah, I put you there. I can't do that.
I tried to play. I was cooking on my Series S. Cooking, God. I was really like, wow, because I have like an FPS background, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
But I know I traded that in for the turn-based hat. Yeah. I know that's where I lie. And that later in my life, I would pay the consequences of that choice because there will be that moment where I'm like, yeah, you don't got it anymore. So now when I get into these first-person shooters at the age of 30, I'm always like a little, is this the one? Like, is this the one where I feel the limits of my age? But bro, when I was cooking on the Series S, I was, man, this is great. So I go to PlayStation 5 because I figured, pardon me, I may as well test the rest of them out. Bro, the offset, without the offset, my aim was terrible. My KD was terrible. I was a shell. Bro, heaven forbid I went here first. I would have thought this was the one. I'm lost. I'm washed. I'm not good anymore. Bro, that they have not figured it out on PlayStation yet. I need the offset. I need next gen. I need the offset option, bro. It is such a difference maker. And also, bro, we got to talk girth.
Let's talk girth. Let's talk girth size.
Girth, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's a man's controller.
You know, that's funny though. It is. I feel like a little bitch holding that. Come on. You know, let's be real with ourselves.
It's too dainty.
Yeah, that's your just one controller. That works for the just one experience.
And I will give them this. It is good for fighting games because of their D-pad separation and getting that. I will give PlayStation that. When it come to them fighting games, Xbox, though, they D-pad is rougher. I got to use a third-party controller. I use my Razer Wolverine 3. That's one of the best. That Wolverine is lit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because even Elite, I love you, but not for fighting. When I play Tekken, I got to use that special controller. But I'm with you. First person shooters, I'll be damned. No, I'm not doing that with that PlayStation controller.
I was reminded quickly, bro. I mean, and also you can shut it off, but like PlayStation's got very strong vibration on the controller.
That all this extra molesting and rubbing you, and no, don't be touching me when I just want to shoot, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So I learned a tough lesson there, but overall, it was it was a journey. Yes. And I mean, I'll still be checking it out at launch, but it definitely cooled me off a little bit, right?
Gotcha.
It cooled me off a little bit, but it's like I went from oh hell yeah to like, all right, I'm sold, but like I gotta see the long term.
Sure,
you know. So overall, Battlefield 6, good time in the beta. Cog, you got some other stuff here.
Yeah. So as I continue my EA journey, it looks like I'm
surprised to see this on your list.
I'm a glutton for punishment, bro. I'm a glutton for punishment. So if you don't know, shout out to LSM fam. Two of my presentations at different LSM shows. One was most, greatest game of all time, and then one was the most overrated game of all time at another venue. And Madden made that list. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, you love football, right? You got Game Pass Ultimate. It's a free 10-hour demo. The reason why I even sniffed that way was because I'm like, all right, they're coming off college football, which was great.
Yes. Yeah.
Which was a learning back to basics. And it shows you when they have a development cycle, how a game can actually be good. I'm like, well, maybe they took a little college football. Let's see from that. Let's see if they took any learn. But here's the key. And it's the same thing with Battlefield. I ain't going front, Matty. I'm on some bougie, like, I'm glad this next gen, current gen only, please.
Yeah.
So when they said current gen only, I'm like, okay, well, you got the opportunity to do something transformative. Let's see. Look, small sample size, plays about 3 games. And I'm very hard on this franchise. I am very difficult with them. I still say to this day, like, NFL 2K, was one of the greatest games that ever challenged Madden. They still ahead of Madden. But I ain't going to hold you. I was like, okay, this is it. I did some Niners versus Broncos because I wanted to replicate this, what was going on in the preseason. One thing I noticed off the bat, you cannot get away with errant throws and bad decisions the way you could in past Madden games. And AI was making me pay for it, but I respect it. I say, yup. I threw off the back foot. Oh, yup, that was double coverage with Brock Purdy. What was I thinking? And I looked at I was like, that was me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay. So, and the decision, decision I made, and I'm like, running game, improved, holes are open. First of all, the speed of the game and the 60 frames per second crispiness, the engine is moving out here, bro. The presentation with full team on, I was like, wow, they got the coaches. Shanahan looked like Shanahan. I was like, wow, okay. And for the first time, we had a little halftime show. Again, NFL 2K is the greatest halftime show to this day. But they clearly was trying to steal some of that mojo. I said, oh, we got highlights? Oh, all right. Now, I don't know how that is. I have not done all my experience was single player. So Madden community, you tell me in the online head-to-head, because I wasn't ready for that smoke. I was like, I'm not, bro, I've been so far. I used to be that guy. I would be in them ranked matches. I used to be that. The way you were Call of Duty, I was a Madden head. I lived in rank. I was doing it to people back then.
People.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah. Oh yeah. I was dealing with the dudes that used to go off fourth down every play, and I used to do it all the effery, and you know how it is. You know what I'm saying? But I was seasoned, but I'm so far removed. I said, let me play this and whatever. So it does remember your last year's settings, whatever. It was like one or two, like one little AI nitpick. I was like, that was a Maddenism right there. You trying to get a turnover back. Okay. But for the most part, 80 to 90% of my experience was really good. I can't speak to Dynasty mode. I can't speak to franchise mode with the hardcore people play. I'm just playing from a core gameplay perspective. And here was when I thought the game was really impressive. So there was a play, it was like a third down. It was like 3rd and 5. You know, you got your coach's suggestions, you got all the stuff. I'm running like a kind of like a crosser across the middle with, I think it was either Kittle or Ricky Pearsall. He catches the ball in stride. The first down marker is right there. Yeah. He gets tackled. I've never seen this in man. He leaned back and on the way falling and outstretched his arm for the first down. But here's where he got ill. He gets popped.
Oh,
the ball comes out, fumble. The other team recovered that grass. I was mad that happened, but when I looked at the replay and how real it looked, I was like, yo, I ain't gonna hold it. That looked kind of fire. I ain't gonna hold it. It went against me, but I was like, it kind of looked real though. Okay. So again, early. We will see when the Madden community gets a hold of it and puts it through his play. What about, I got to shout out content creator. I don't know if he's still around. I got to check because this was my favorite Madden content creator. He ran a website called Operation Sports, and it was dedicated to nothing but sports video games. And these were the definitive sport game guys. I got to check if they still exist, man. Those were in my heyday, you go to Operation Sports, bro. They rate baseball games, hockey games, football, and they will tell you, yo, bro, the animations, no, they didn't learn it. They still reusing that animation from 85. I got to see if they still around. If Operations, they still around. If they say it's a go, I got to see if then I will give it the official cosign. But I just saw my early impressions.
Website, biggest takeaways from Madden 26 gameplay first look.
What they say?
NHL 26 cover athlete reveals a Tenacious Cup winner. Let's see here.
These were my guys, man.
All new equipment and uniforms.
Yeah, biggest takeaway. It looks good. Okay, just over a week early today. EA job. I got to see. Yes, weather looks intense. Over 2,000 plays at launch. More playing with new animations.
Matt 10's Madden 26 sliders. This seems to have decent engagement.
They did it. Oh, they got the breakdown. They compare it to college football 26. I got to put it through. See, these are my guys. These were they should have been way bigger than who they were. These are the definitive sports video game reviewers. If you care about a sport, I'm talking about the deep cuts, the simulation, the innards, how the game truly plays, not window dressing for some casual reviewers that don't play sports. These are the guys, right?
Yeah.
If they say it's a go, it's a go. But look like, so far, semi-positive thing. We'll wait for their official review. Those are the guys I trust. But I just thought it was a pleasant experience, and I'm willing to go back in there and see what's up. Now, I don't know if I'm willing to be there day one, but my 10-hour trial is still going on, and I'm going to maximize the hell out of that for Game Pass Ultimate. So that's my experience at Madden 26 so far.
Tough. Well, I'm glad it's not a disappointment. So does it seem like they've learned from NCAA ultimately?
I don't want to go too far. Early impressions were positive. Okay. I need to see the day-to-day gameplay. If anything gets exposed, I'm a big trenches play, offensive, defensive line. Some of that felt good, but again, I haven't been. I play like 4 games, right? But I need to get it through the weeds when you do a season, and then obviously when you play competitive versus someone. How does that? That's a whole different review system.
Yeah,
with the lag and stuff like that. So again, but early impressions were okay on local, on regular play, arcade, whatever play. So that's where I'm at. So what you
doing another college football game this year?
I would assume so. I'm not sure. That's a good question.
I thought I saw like 26. But
I see college football 26 features. What's new and improved? I'm looking at the site right here.
When does it come out? Because I'm just curious when it comes out. Mm-hmm. Oh, is it already out?
That's a good question.
Released on July 10th. Interesting. Okay.
Really? Damn, we were missing. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so this came out, and then a month later they do Madden. That's so interesting.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
They had under a year to make this game.
See, that's what I worry about when we get back into the EA cycle, and it's just like how can you really improve it than more than just an incremental thing, right? So yeah, that's the problem.
I'm so curious. These audience reviews on Google got it at 1.7 stars, Cog.
Oh, no. Which one? Oh, for Madden or Google?
College football 26.
See, that's what I worry. That's what I worry.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Yeah. You know, we can't have good things all the time.
Nah.
So what else you got, man? Those are my games.
So,
and clearly a very highly anticipated game that I cannot talk about, but I can't wait to tell you that I'm playing. And you, boy, I got things to say there.
Hell yeah. For me, after my trip with Last Defense Academy, I've been on a hunt for, finishing games. And I'm proud to say that since I beat that game, let's see how many I beat. Hang on, I got to pull out the spreadsheet, y'all.
Let's get the spreadsheet. Oh, man, I got the spreadsheet. I love it.
It's 3 games now.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 games since that. So I've been on a roll. I've been on a fucking tear, in fact, Nothing big, but, this is the biggest one since. It's System Shock 2 Remaster. And wanted to get to the origins of Ken Levine, right? Wanted to get into his mind a bit, but also, this is one of the classics. And it's something that at the top of the year, I said, hey, my backlog will always be big, but there are certain games that I want to check off the list, that I want to experience. I'm a huge sci-fi fan. And to see how much this game has inspired other sci-fi stories, I'm like, I have to do this one finally. So I waited on the remaster. It came out. They delayed it a little bit on console, but it's out everywhere now. I played this on PC, so I got to meet Shodan. By the way, if anyone listened to the What We're Playing section last week, I apologize. I said the many was like, no one mentioned in the comments, to my surprise, because I immediately went, I was like, I got to check the comment, boys. They got to be calling me out.
They got me, yeah.
Because I said in the episode, I was like, oh, the many are like these AI gods or something. Like, I described it terribly. But then I went back and finished the game. I'm like, oh, I was so like, I had no idea what I was talking. I was only 12 hours. I was like, I had no idea what I was talking about.
See to dodge the bullet.
Yeah, appreciate everyone going nice on me there. So System Shock 2. This is often described as BioShock in space. I think a lot of people who are interested in Judas might want to give this one a look, because a lot of people are calling Judas BioShock in space, but I'm like, no, Judas looks like a return to System Shock, except with more BioShock gameplay elements. So you start off on the Von Braun, and what's effectively happened is you have a rogue AI that has overtaken the ship, but there's also this mass called the Many. And the Many, you're not sure what's happening, but it has physically altered those who were once aboard the ship. So much like a BioShock style game, like you're going to go around this desolate, destroyed environment. There's going to be audio diaries. You're going to listen to them. You're going to get door codes, safe codes, locations of loot, that sort of stuff. And you're going to just pay attention to the audio diaries and navigate your way around. So a lot of it's what you've seen before. You have like a power in one hand, a gun in the other. Like there's a lot of that, except it's a 1998 game. So it doesn't feel as good, but this story was really ahead of its time. I without spoiling, I will say I found the ending to be a little underwhelming, just a little bit.
Okay.
Again, without getting into too much detail, I'll spoil it more on like Retro Rebound. But what I'll say is, like, they kind of made one choice that I didn't like, and then it also just felt a little like, where was the build up to this? Right. It has a sick teaser, but otherwise, like, I was a little let down by the ending, but overall a really great game. And so a lot of this story is about meeting what I think is one of the best villains I've seen in a video game, and Shodan, like this rogue AI who's like talking to you like you're an insect, follow these orders, pathetic human. And for a lot of people, if they heard it nowadays and this is a 2025 game, it would maybe sound a little bit like, oh, rogue AI takeover. Oh, where have I seen that before? But when you realize it's a 1998 game, this is sort of like the beginning of that. And you see the echoes of this game in so many sci-fi products. It's incredible how ahead of its time this game is and how well it holds up. That's the beauty of a great story, is I can play it all these years later in a completely different phase of my life and be like, wow, this held up pretty well across the board. So I love games that kind of trust my intelligence, let me piece things together, learning about all these crewmates aboard, what their jobs were, what they were doing, how the many came into the picture. And I love it because it's more of it's a game that never tells you, or rather, a lot of storytellers say show, don't tell. But this game kind of operates off of telling instead of showing. But the way they tell you, and you're kind of running around this environment, piecing it all together, like you're drawing these lines. So it's a little bit of a reverse on what typical game storytelling does. There's no like cutscene that shows like, this is where the many came from. You just have to listen to and find all those audio logs to really piece it together. Again, very BioShock. But I think what's so fascinating about it is what I said last week is that, wow, Ken, like in a lot of ways, really went back to the well with BioShock and kind of perfected a lot of the ideas that were found in this game. Some, I think, were streamlined. Like BioShock's not a hardcore RPG. This game is. And it's a hardcore RPG in the way where, like, even when you're like me, I comb through every room, get as many cybernetic modules as possible, do all the requests for Showdown, all that stuff. I didn't like max out all my stats at all. Like I only maxed out my energy weapon, my agility, my strength, my endurance, like just a couple of them. There's not multiple endings, but there's multiple ways to play the game. I leaned more into psionics and energy weapons. The tough part is that when you get deeper in the game and you start to fight more, we'll say organic enemies where my EMP rifle doesn't work on them, then I'm like really underpowered. So you could feel the age in some pockets of it. I quick saved like a motherfucker in this game because there were some parts where it was like, you know, the you had to make a jump across to another platform, and you know, it's not like the best in the terms of controls. So it's an older game. I was reading an interview after I finished the game, and Night Dive pretty much said they're going to do a System Shock 2 remake like they did for the first game. So I'm looking forward to that. They also said don't lose hope on System Shock 3, and they're still figuring that out, which that was where I went to next. I wonder if there's more. Like, I'm so late to this. This is a 98 game. I would love more of this. And so I look it up. Bro, why is this game announced in 2020? One, why does it look so good? Two, tell me how this game is now under Tencent's control.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, what? So a company named Otherside, who was originally made of a lot of the System Shock 2 devs, was working on 3. I haven't dove deep into it, but basically something happened somewhere. And this has now fallen, I think, because Tencent was funding this team. Something happened, though, and now Tencent just has System Shock 3, while Night Dive has the rights to System Shock 1 and 2. So, yeah, I'm like, what kind of cruel... I'm not even a big fan. I'm just a new fan. But I'm like, what cruel, twisted fate is this? I thought I had it bad as, like, Ninja Turtle fan or KOTOR fan. At least my shit's not with Tencent, dude. So, I don't know what'll come of that. But... it definitely is a forward-thinking story. Very Kojima-esque is what I would say. Like, okay, you know, in that like, wow, they really thought ahead when making this. It wasn't just, ooh, AI bad. It was like more complex than that, and about blindly following these commands and sort of what is individuality? What is the many? Like, are we not worth more as the collective? And kind of putting it into a philosophy as a Ken Levine style game typically does. It had some immersive sim elements that I really love in games. You know, this really started for me with like Bethesda Game Studios games where I could pick up and interact with objects, but they have an ability in this game called Psi-Pull. And so you can use your mind to pull objects in from a distance. And it's cool. Like, oh, you see some loot, pull it in, snag it, add it to the inventory. Wouldn't have been able to get that otherwise. That's where like the Psi abilities, I think, are like a leading part of this game. And that if you play like as the soldier or whatever, you'll have a good time, but like you're definitely going to miss out on some stuff. I feel like it's an RPG, but there's clearly a best way to play. Yeah. So I had fun with it, man. I love sci-fi. I loved investigating the Von Braun into the Rickenbacker and kind of learning about it. I will say the last stretch of the game felt a little quick because you spend so much time on the Von Braun. Also Dead Space was so obviously inspired by this game. Like I was like, what? There were so many
the DNA
moments where I went, wow. That is Dead Space. Like the Von Braun is the Ishimura, and so many. They even have a hydroponics section that's similar.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I was like, what? So yeah, I get to see echoes of some of my favorite things within this game. Also, this game's scary. I love that about this game.
Attention with Larry go.
Very, very. So they have this one. For those who have played, you know who I'm talking about. It's called the the Cyborg Midwife is what it's called.
Okay.
Bro, it's a chick with a bob cut. Her whole face is peeled off. And this thing will give you nightmares. But what's worse, Cog, is when, like I'm walking around and I just hear it clanking around. And then you like open a chest and you turn around and this fucking thing standing right there.
Yo.
This game made me, not like Dead Space horror or anything, or like a pure horror game, but it makes you jump a lot. Like it gets you sometimes. You're like, oh, like I didn't see that. Or you'll turn around, you'll see like two maulers, these big fleshy creatures just running at you. And you're like, oh shit, because like I might not have the right equipment. Good to go. So that's where, again, the old age of the game shows, like the controls don't feel the best. The tutorial is awful. But I really enjoyed this game a lot. I'm happy to have it knocked off my my backlog. I thought the remaster was really good, and I recommend people checking it out. Like, even if we know they're going to probably do a remake of it, I always say checking out the originals is worthwhile because you get the pure as intended experience, and then if they knock it out of the park with the remake, beautiful. I will say though, this is a great remake candidate. Great. Nice. From the ending standpoint, from the gameplay standpoint, controls. This is a perfect game to remake. Like, it has all the tools and everything to that makes it brilliant. As long as it's like Dead Space, don't touch the story. In the case of Dead Space, I was like, don't touch the gameplay either. But like in this case, you can touch the gameplay a little bit. Like, let's, make it where if I shoot at an enemy, it's not tied to my stats. If I shoot at an enemy and my reticle's on them, it hits and does damage. They did a great job with the first System Shock remake. So just excited to see what they can do with what seems to be an inevitable remake of 2. But I had a blast with this game. Really liked it. Shodan's an incredible villain. And looking forward to seeing if System Shock 3 gets out of the grasp of consent.
That's dope to hear. They actually did a good job on the remaster. That's good to hear.
Yeah, I mean, it is just it's, how do I describe it? Like, just polished visuals. Sometimes like a little too clean, a little too well lit. I kind of want to look at videos of the original and see if it's like a Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition moment where you'll have rooms you'll step into where it's like beautifully lit for its time, and there'll be a smear of blood on the wall, but everything else looks pristine. I'm like, no, we're not there, So it's like there's the technical limitation that's obvious, but also did they clean it up too much? So that's what I'm playing this week. Starting up next, I'm going to finish Mafia: The Old Country, and nice. I think it's finally time for KCD 2.
Wow, let's go. Yeah, okay.
Right, those are the two I'm eyeing down right now. So
let's go.
We shall see. But for now, Cog, we move into our main news of the week. Contraband. It's been canceled. Here is the official note from Avalanche. Over the past several years, Avalanche Studios Group and Xbox Game Studios Publishing have collaborated on Contraband. Active development has now stopped while we evaluate the project's future. We're thankful for the excitement we've seen from the community since we announced, and we will give an update as to what's next as soon as we can. Following this up was a statement from Jason Schreier on his Blue Sky account where he did say that OD still lives on, so you don't have to worry about that as of yet. But for now, Cog, Contraband, another canceled game. Surprised it took until this point. Kind of thought this would be a part of last month's Bloodbath, especially when we lost the Romero game and everything. But Contraband, long have we wondered what this game would actually be. It was, according to Jez, he said 22 going into 23 is when we could have expected it. It's 25. We don't really know what we lost here, so I don't feel too emotional about it. But what are our thoughts and feelings on Contraband being canceled?
Yeah, it's just, Contraband, how I did not know ye. I just didn't know what it was. We just heard about, obviously, with Avalanche. We heard about, a co-op Smuggler's Paradise game, fictional 1970s band. I just didn't have, I remember the trailer. It was just like a map on the screen. And I was just like, what? I don't know what this game is. So I don't want to be insensitive, but it's just we never want a game to be canceled. That's first, obviously, right? People worked on this game. They obviously was a belief that Xbox Game Publishing wanted to do something with them. Yeah. But I can't get too crazy on this one because I'll be honest, I thought this was RIP for the longest. Like I never we didn't hear about it for so long that I'm just like, no updates. No, every other game would at least got updates. The MMO, you got updates. You got, even with what you call it, Perfect Dark, right? We saw like, okay, we thinking it's still gonna come because we get it. We got nothing on this game. It was just one of those projects that they said they were working on and it's still going on. So I'm not really surprised by this at all. And I'm just like, unfortunately, it's another one to add to the pile, right? Of canceled project doing a very rough, period for Xbox right now with the canceled projects and people leaving for sure. But I can't really say that I don't want to be careful about what I don't want to say that I don't have sympathy. I am just not surprised in the least with this game that we knew nothing about, that I had no information to tangible on, for me to be crying a river about it because I thought this was part of the scrap heap for a long time anyway. So that's just where I'm at, just honest feeling on it.
No, dude, I'm like literally in the same boat. Like this is the stuff where it gets lost in the broad conversation, but this is where like I don't blame Xbox leadership. I'm like, bring a pair of scissors to it, dude. Like this is going on way too long. And it's also a game that it shouldn't have been announced. But that's the lesson I think you should take away from it. And I've seen enough of Xbox changing their showcase formats to know they know this is a problem and that they've tried their best to get away from it. And there are still some lingering games like a Contraband or State-of-Decay 3, like still games hanging around that were announced way too early that we hoped or still hope would see the light of day. But Contraband is one that, like I'm not angry about that. I don't know how you can. I feel like anyone who is outraged about it is forcing it because it's like you don't know what you lost. You don't have enough information to blame anyone. And this is coming from someone who's like, I've pointed the finger at Xbox leadership for most of what just happened last month. But like, we don't know if it was their fault. Did they pick a bad partner here? But also we have a game that was announced in 2021. It's 25 and we know nothing about it. And especially if the rumor was it was supposed to come out in 23, they're way off. They've been given more than enough time to figure it out. And so again, until we get a deeper story, I can react strongly on it. But Contraband being canceled is like we don't know what we lost, And so I wish Avalanche the best. I hope that they can get a game out because I don't think they've put anything out since before that game was announced. So they'll have to scramble and figure something out in the meantime. But it's just a relic of Xbox history now.
Well said. I'm pretty much in agreement with that. And just like, it's one of those things that, look, in game development, I remember when speaking to Shuhei and Colin spoke to him, but I spoke to him briefly. You hear about those projects, right? That's like, oh wow, that it was sad canceling this, but the difference is it never came to light, right? In this case, they did announce in 2021 they had this little thing, but we didn't know enough of it, so I could go so crazy in on them that it's like, bro, what the hell? Because we really still had no information. I think the lesson here is what you said, which is, we don't want you talking about stuff until you're ready to ship, kind of thing. And I think at least with Contraband in this case, we know so little that I can't go crazy on this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you on that part.
It just shows the difference between a Perfect Dark, which would have been in the same bag, right? We just, is it disastrous development? Imagine we don't see the trailer last year and then we get the news this year that it's shut down. It's like, okay, makes sense.
There you go.
Look at the difference in optics. I mean, this is what we were talking about when this all went down last month. We were like, look at the difference, right? Like, for all we know, I could be talking on my ass right now. I don't know. Contraband could have been like all Xbox leadership, and I have all the fuel in the fire to just go after them. This could also be all Avalanche. But that lack of publicity around the game, Xbox goes a long way. Look at there was literally no response to it. It's like, obviously I'm hoping that we just stop seeing massive canceled games from them in general, although it might be a fool's hope because, there's always canceled games. But I'm hoping that there's a lesson learned here about early announcements and how you're just creating more damage for yourself. I know it means that there might be a light showcase or two, but like this year was a light showcase and it was perfectly fine. You know, like people live and know that Xbox is capable of a good showcase. So as long as it doesn't result in more contrabands, I think that'll be a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially because think about, like, just to add on to this last thing, think about those collaboration-based announcements that show up and do deliver. I think of, again, Ninja Gaiden 4. So like to get that, be like, oh my God, it's real. Oh my God, it's here. Oh my God, it looks good. Platinum Games, Team Ninja, and it's coming this year. Like that was an awesome feeling, dude. Awesome feeling. To know it's within arm's reach. That's what I want more of. So if I got a Contraband this year, let's say they were targeting this year, like this year, and I see it, and it's like Avalanche and Xbox teaming up for this. It's coming out August. I'm like, oh shit, awesome. So hopefully, it seems like they've already learned their lesson, but no hurt in overemphasizing it at this point.
No, I agree. I think that is 100% the lesson learned. Yeah. And that's what I want to see moving forward, to be honest. Like, you know what I'm saying? 100%. Like, I'm just, as we call it, tired of y'all busting early. Y'all ain't ready. But in this case, I can't go crazy. I just hope everyone involved will be able to still work in the industry and they have another project and Avalanche is okay. You know what I'm saying? I do want to say the human element. I just hope they're fine. Sure. But stuff gets canceled. These are the correct ways to do it and versus the non-correct ways to do it.
Yep, absolutely. All right, well, nothing else to really say about Contraband, right? Not a long conversation to have. So we're already off to our Game Pass pick of the week. It's up to me this week, but we have a write-in here from Toon Wolf, who says, greeting Throat Coat, Matty, and Dependable Cog. I just wanted to shout out Matty for putting me on some Game Pass heat with Abiotic Factor. While your impressions on it were sort of lukewarm, it only took the mention of two things that got me in. One, that it was a survival crafting game, and two, that it was kind of like Grounded. With that being said, once I booted up, I haven't touched another game since. This game is freaking amazing. And honestly, came at the perfect time since Grounded 2's early access content kind of left a void in me. Thanks for the recommendation and have a can't get a change of underwear, so I had to wear adult diapers kind of day. I'll follow you for a while, bro.
Go in on me, man. Yep. I was making a life hack, man. Y'all killing me in these streets.
You know what's funny, bro, is someone out there is listening and they have registered that as their emergency protocol move.
Exactly.
Like, you did help people out, but they're not going to let you.
Yeah, they go, everyone's too cool. And I'm like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to go on planes with, the dirty behind, for 13 hours, God bless. Y'all do. I'm just not that dude. You know what I'm saying?
I don't blame you. I think it's a good call. But with that, my Game Pass pick of the week is a little bit of a different one.
What you got?
It's a game that I did not review positively, but now it's here and you can try for free as part of your subscription service. I say, hey, why the hell not? Assassin's Creed Mirage, brand new edition here. Look, this is just a little bit of I would say mildly divisive game. I don't think many people disagree with my take that I found it particularly underwhelming as kind of a callback to the OG Assassin's Creed games, but there were many people who thought it delivered on that. It had all of the mechanics from the originals, like the disguise system and the a lot of the hiding in the crowd, like the similar mission design, the removing of the what's the word I'm looking for, like the propaganda that you wanted, all that stuff, right? Like they went back to some of the basics there, and for a lot of people that was like a warm blanket to them. Now this is ignoring the story and the tone because it's a Ubisoft game, and I don't remember the last well-written Ubisoft game I played, but it's been a while. And so if you can look past that and just kind of enjoy modern Assassin's Creed for like a good setting and some solid gameplay mechanics and stealth, I think you'll have fun with this one. It's not the Assassin's Creed game where you're going like all aggro. It is about stealth. I do think some of the level design has limitations. It is a budget title. Keep that in mind. And I do hope Ubisoft continues to experiment like with this game. So you might find something here that you like more than, say, their RPG series.
Right.
That's the benefit of this game. It's not gear driven. It's more about just being an assassin. And so, again, a return to basics there. So it is a game that I recommend if you've, after maybe like I'm not recommending they buy it. Hang on, don't put your hand in your chest. I'm not saying go buy it. I'm saying if you want to have it as part of your subscription service and you want to give it a rip there,
fair.
That's a good place to try it out, right? No need to spend your hard-earned money on it, but maybe you're coming off Assassin's Creed Shadows and you're like, I want a little bit more of that. This is here on Game Pass for you. Or you haven't tried modern Assassin's Creed. There are more entries that I like more, but maybe this is your way to getting back in with something that's a little familiar. It's a 20-ish hour game, very short, especially for Assassin's Creed nowadays. So you can kind of hop in, beat it within a week or so and hop out. And it's solid for that. So yeah, Assassin's Creed Mirage, not the best game you'll ever play, but a pretty good Game Pass ad, and it might be something that you enjoy more than I did. So again, similar to Toon Wolf, the spirit of this Game Pass pick of the week for me is like, hey, this I'm a little lukewarm on, but you might hear this and go, I want that. And so I wanted to pick this one out for y'all, even if I'm not the biggest AC fan nowadays. That's my Game Pass pick of the week.
Look at the growth.
Yeah,
look at my board.
Yeah.
This is what's up.
I would never do this last year.
I'm seeing this level still. I'm like, all right, I remember, the commentary before, but you're like, you know what? That's me. And I didn't feel certain things, but I know there's an audience that does like some of this kind of stuff. And the fact that it's I see what you're doing there. All right. I see some growth. I like that.
Yeah, I'm a nice guy. All right. It's time for us to wrap this up.
Yes,
we are at the end of the show. We got a lot of hashtag options,
Oh, a lot.
Got the diaper. We got the chocolate. We got
chocolate.
I mean, chocolate diapers actually might be
dependable chocolate.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
You know what I'm saying? We got options, whatever way you want to go with it. Because that's two of the funniest stories for we both literally went viral in like the same week in a way. So it's kind of hilarious with this dude.
Yeah, let's do dependable chocolate. I like that. Yeah. That's a good one. Dependable chocolate. No one will know.
No one will know.
You guys can go ahead, tag us on Twitter. I'm at G27status. Cog is at Lord Cognito. Use the hashtag dependable chocolate. Let us know your thoughts down below. Otherwise, Cog, any final thoughts as we round this one out?
No, good one. This is a weird one because I was like, oh, wow, I didn't realize we had this much to talk about. And then we was going there. But it was fun. Yeah, we had stories. We definitely wanted to catch up, clearly. Yeah. But now it's good to be back, you know what I'm saying? And be on the lookout. I got to catch up. Again, congratulations to you. I got to catch up on your interviews, bro, because now I get a chance to say, because I really want to dig into the Fargo, the Darrah, and everything else you got going.
I'll be curious which one you like more. I think the Fargo one will speak to you more. It's more of like an enthusiast interview. Like,
yes,
Darrah's got the spice, but Fargo is like a real enriched kind of dive into a genius's mind.
Yeah, and I don't see him outside often, so you got him. I'm like, oh, that's hard.
No. He's very accessible. He's very accessible.
Okay. No, this is good. This is good, man. And obviously, in I like it as a precursor to Contraband. I mean, excuse me, Contraband. Clockwork Orange, Clockwork Revolution. Excuse me.
No,
you know what I'm saying? As a precursor to that, because mindset, and then obviously we know how we feel about Wasteland. And then Darrah just gives so many good gems too. So yeah, I got to do my catch up with you on that. And then, we didn't shout about my man Rook had mentioned when you did Fargo. I didn't know he did Battle Chess.
Mm-hmm.
Because Rook said he got his name from Battle Chess. I had the game Battle Chess. I had it, again, next gen, weird cog. I got to get everything. I had it for 3D. Oh, I love that. I didn't know he had something to do with that.
Yeah,
that game was amazing.
We talk about it in the interview, but I said your Moby Games profile is he has 200 plus games in his credits.
That's insane.
Yeah, bro. Like that is like, I encourage people think of your favorite developer, look them up and look at their profile. I think the most you usually see is like 60, 80, This guy, 200. Like,
bro, that's insane.
He's been doing this since the very beginning with the Apple II, 1983.
Wow. Apple II.
Yeah, 83, bro. So he's just seen, and you can hear it and how he breaks down. He's seen so much. And also, I should have plugged this earlier when more people were listening, but it's a refreshingly positive Xbox conversation for those looking for a little warm blanket. Like you hear about a guy who, if you're a responsible team, like an Obsidian, like an InXile, the benefits of working with hands-off Xbox. But also a lot of people trust Fargo, and that much is very
apparent. Yeah.
The amount of stories he tells of like, he just says, trust me, and people do trust him, and then it works out. So I think he's just got that factor to him as well.
Yeah.
But
and for some, that's a good point, because for some, that approach could work for the geniuses and the guys who could manage themselves, the Ferguson, the Obsidians, and him. I'm such a fan, and that's why I said I can't wait to get it in. It makes me want to play, Wasteland 3 again. And,
yeah. I'll tease you with one answer he gave me at the very start of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it was when I asked him how he was doing. He's like, yeah, great. We're working on just one game. And we don't hear that ever. It's always like, we spend so long, it's boom or bust. But he's like confident saying like, yeah, I'm not concerned that we're spending a lot of time on this. Like, it's going to be worth it. He's like, I know it'll be worth it. So he thinks they've got something. I mean, I think it's pretty apparent they do have something special with Clockwork. But for some reason, Clockwork doesn't like track well on YouTube or anything. Like I've covered it a bunch of times, and it does not do numbers. So
they fronting, bro.
I mean, as it gets closer to launch, maybe it will, but
yeah.
I feel like he has every reason to be confident. I just hope it pans out. But his enthusiasm about just working on one thing for a long while was a little surprising. So I'll leave it at that. But yeah, he's got a lot of gems in there that you'll appreciate.
Yeah, man. I got some catching up to do. I'm going to be throwing that bad boy on the drive, what I'm listening to.
Hell yeah. Let me know what you think. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you tuning into our show, and we would love to have you back next week. So feel free to tune in. We're here every Sunday on YouTube. We're on your podcast feeds every Sunday as well. Or if you're over on patreon.com/laststandmedia, you can find us for early ad-free access on Thursdays. But otherwise, we'll catch you next time for episode 242 of the Defining Duke and Xbox podcast. And until then, peace out.
Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast, is a product and trademark of Last Stand Media and Collins Last Stand LLC, and is recorded from the United States of America. The show is conceived by Matthew Mr. Matty Plays Schroeder and me, Colin Moriarty, and is written and produced by Matthew Schroeder. Matty's co-host is Barry Lord Cognito Eversley. Defining Duke's executive producer is Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. As you know, all of Last Stand Media's shows, including Defining Duke, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer support level on Patreon, and we're thankful for your kindness and generosity.